Yo, Rex Mechanica. Thank you, thank you. I wasn't waiting for that to start talking. I was trying to remember all the myriad steps involved with what has been described by some as the hardest job on the planet. You gotta go live. Before that, you gotta open the software. Before you open the software, you need to download it, which requires a web browser, which requires a computer, which requires money, which requires maybe a job, which requires skills, which requires perhaps education or nepotism if you're lucky, which requires, being born in the first place. So it's a lot goes into it. It's not, is it only pressing like one or two buttons? Yeah, it's only pressing one or two buttons, but it took a lot to get to those one or two buttons, Welcome back. How was your first Peloton ride back from vacation? Looks like your average watts were down from your normal at 176. Bills Mafia for life. I love you because you keep it real, okay? When I'm on my highest highs, you say, way to go, brother, great job. And when I'm just moving the pedals to get it done, you're like, is everything okay? Well, it is and it isn't. I'm extremely jet lagged right now. So today's Tuesday. I woke up 7 a.m. on Monday, Tokyo time, which is like the evening. One second here. Thank you, Manarelli, for the gifted subscriptions as well. Thank you, Jimbo Marshmallow as well. I appreciate it. It's not about that, though. It's not about that, okay? Long story short, I was awake for 8 hours in Japan, 10-hour flight. Got back to Vancouver 7 a.m. in the morning. Rode the lightning all day. Stayed awake. Mostly because my daughter slept on the plane, so she wanted to be awake when she got home. Fell asleep at 8 last night. Woke up at 1 to my daughter crawling into bed with us. Woke up at 3. She was like, I'm hungry. And I'm like, of course you're hungry. This is like Japanese lunchtime. Fed her breakfast at 3 in the morning. She goes to sleep on the couch around 4:30 or 5. I was like, at this point, I got to send it, man. I got to stay awake. So I've been up for 6.5 hours already. Nausea is a little annoying, but happy to be back for sure. Happy to be back. He still loves us. You know the most fucked up part? I hesitate to even say this because I think it's almost too real for Twitch. After 2 weeks away in countries where I don't really speak the language, enough to at least say I don't speak the language, I'm sorry that I'm ignorant. I apologize for making my ignorance your problem when you're just trying to be at work. I'm just trying to get some spaghetti for my daughter and maybe something for myself as well while we're here. I realized that I am crazy and have been pretending that I'm sane, and 100% of my self-esteem comes from being perceived as being funny online. And when you remove that from me by placing me in an environment where I can't express myself in a novel and witty way, the facade of my avatar completely falls apart, and I'm like a worm on the sidewalk after it rains, just, I guess, not really asking to be stepped on, but expecting it at any given moment, which almost breeds resentment because people in Japan especially were so nice, and I was like, you should be stepping on me. You should be. I'm in your country. I make no effort to speak the language whatsoever. I order 2 beers and curry every single time I go to a restaurant because it's the only thing I know how to say, and I'm self-medicating, and people are like, yeah, that would be awesome. We'd be happy to bring that to you. And I'm like, no, you should be rolling your eyes and cursing me out to my face and blowing cigarette smoke in my eyes or something like that. You should be upset, man. You should be upset. We love to be degraded. I just like to be treated, I think, with authenticity. And maybe the Japanese servers in their hearts, maybe they were like, I love all human beings and tourists. Thank you for coming to my country and my establishment and being a patron of this restaurant. But I kind of feel like I deserve to be at least treated with scorn. Maybe not open malevolence, but scorn, perhaps. Yeah.
Scorn.
You'd love Boston? I'm starting to think, you know what I think it is? I actually think that at some point you get cooked. And I don't mean cooked in the sense like, you know, burned. Like you can't, like you're just a waste, essentially. I think more in the way that like, you know, you can't alter the composition of the cake after it's been in the oven. 10 years ago, I went to Japan for the first time, and I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Everybody's so nice. They're all so happy to see me. Everybody is like, my God, thank you for visiting our nation and gracing us with your presence. And I was like, this is the way that it should be in North America. And now, 10 years later, after living in Vancouver for so long, I'm like, no, I need people to be a little ruder to me. I need, and admittedly, this is just customer service interactions, but I need the customer service interactions to be like short and curt. I need to like drop a Pocari Sweat on the counter and go like, and then the guy at the counter goes like, and then he points to the register and I give him that much money. And then he goes, and I go, I need that. Instead, every time I felt like I was buying something in Japan, because my mind was so twisted, I felt like I was being mocked. I'm like, why does it take me 3 minutes to buy a Pocari Sweat? It's because the Japanese culture and language is steeped in like, you know, welcome to our store. We're so happy to see you. Is this the only thing you'll be having today? Are you sure this is what you want? And I'm like, yeah, I'll just take the Pocari Sweat, please. And they're like, is it okay that it's 230 yen? And I'm like, that's fine. And then they pass me like a little tray and I put the money on the tray. I put exactly 230 yen on the tray and I give it to them and they go, are you sure this is the money you want to give us? And I go, I'm sure it's the money I want to give you. And then they go like, thank you so much for the money that you've given me. And I'm like, you're welcome so much for the money that I've given you. Like we're adding a whole lot of rigmarole into this Pocari Sweat purchase. And I think that I think I suffered like a little bit of a mental breakdown, but I got out of it. I think. I don't know. It feels good to be speaking English. This is all to say that like I think that I realized while I was away that like as much as I get annoyed with Twitch chat, this is like you're stuck with me. It's like Batman and the Joker. We're stuck with each other. We're destined to go around. I think we could do this forever. I need your social interaction to feel normal. And maybe some of you need me talking so that you can also have like a bastion of normalcy in your life as well. It may be twisted, but it's honest for sure. Or maybe you're just here to be entertained, which is great as well. But yeah, I left and went crazy and was like, oh, I need a little bit of rudeness in my life. So I was at Hello Kitty World, Sanrio Puroland, and I want to just be clear. Everybody in Japan was super nice. Everybody in Korea was nice. We didn't have any like bad experiences on the trip or anything like that, but my brain got so warped by like some of the experiences that I was in that I became like a Dostoevsky character in a novel or something like that. Like I was starting to lose my mind. I became misanthropic. We went to Sanrio Puroland, aka Hello Kitty World, because we have a 3-year-old kid who likes Kuromi and Hello Kitty and My Melody and Cinema Roll and stuff like that. And while being there, I think that I had the opposite of like a psychedelic experience. You know how people say like when you do acid, which I've never done, you can experience ego death, where you realize that what you thought was yourself is actually just one light in a cosmic collective consciousness, where you know you and the flowers on the ground and the trees in the forest and the fish in the sea and all of God's other creatures are all interwoven in this tapestry together, both made of the same stuff and affecting each other, and they're affecting you. I had the exact opposite thing where being at that theme park for like 6 hours gave me ego birth. And I was like, you are all fake. I am the only real person here. I have to be the only person in this establishment with any kind of internality. And I wanted, again, just because it's on this platform, you got to be on the nose. The problem was up here. It wasn't the people around me. I'm at Hello Kitty World. Okay, so what do I expect? But I was losing my mind. Like when there were people there with kids and they were taking photos with like the mascots and stuff like that, I was like, that makes sense. You're here for your kids. I was giving them the look and I was saying like, we're biting the curb together on this one, right? But the predominant customer was like 2 people in their 20s on like a date. And I was lining up, you know, to take my picture with Pom Pom Purin, which isn't even a person in a costume. It's just like a plastic statue of Pom Pom Purin, and I'm behind like 7 people that brought like a plush toy that isn't Pom Pom Purin, and then they don't even like take the photo with the statue. They just put the plushie on the statue, and then they take like 12 photos, and then I watch them like edit it on their phone and post it to social media like while we're in the next line. And I was like, what the fuck are we doing, man? Wait, like I was, because I don't know if it was some Batman villain. I'm not sure if it was the Joker, the Riddler, Bane, Clayface, or the one that's a fucking crocodile in jorts or whatever. But I was like, this is crazy. And like, Kate was using this vending machine where you like put in a couple of bucks and then you spin a little crank and fake popcorn bubbles up. It goes like, and then after 30 seconds, popcorn pops out the bottom and you eat it. So Kate was spinning the popcorn and it was doing that. And then a middle-aged Japanese man like walked behind me and he observed the whole process. And he just uttered under his breath, he went, "Sugoi." And then he like nodded and walked away. And I was like, I can't be here right now. I don't know what I need, but it's not this. And for context also, like I think precipitating my mental breakdown, we're going through like some health crises in my family right now that has me rethinking like the meaning of life and mortality and like what do I want out of my life? Like what would a good life have looked like if I was looking back on it? So I was on like this search for meaning, and in the meantime I was in what I can only describe as like the most opposite version of that place that I've ever been to in my entire life. After like 2 weeks of parenting in a country where I don't speak the language and my kid is like throwing temper tantrums and I'm like, I don't know what to do. I can really only go to the convenience store. We can walk outside and I can go to the convenience store. And then like people are pushing past me to look at like a plate with My Melody's face on it. And they're like 30 years old and they're like not even buying the plate. They're just taking a picture of themselves next to the plate and like not buying the plate, not taking a picture of the plate, taking a picture of themselves next to the plate. And I was like, in a way, I'm getting too much out of this theme park that was essentially just like go and take cute photos with characters you've seen on TV. But yeah. And then like, I brought it back, I think. I feel better now. I feel better after I've exercised. Who's your favorite Sanrio character? I mean, that's the worst part of all. I gotta say is probably Gudetama. And it seems like they're like phasing out Gudetama. The worst part of the whole thing is that there was like one little Gudetama corner, and then they're pushing like all these other characters that I have like no real interest in, to be honest with you. Pachaco, he's popping off, yeah. One thing I won't miss about your vacation is seeing your torso on Twitter. I appreciate that. Listen, we had fun. We had fun outwardly. Inwardly, sometimes I was plumbing the depths of my soul. But I was also like, you know, I think it was the good kind of like introspection. In a way, I needed like 2 weeks away to not be focused on surface level Did you see this stuff on Twitter? Exactly. Did you see Chitan, Japan's crazy mascot who's trying to kill all advertising and stuff like that? In a way, it was almost like a sabbatical from vanity and an opportunity to be introspective, because I was like surrounded by tens of thousands of people at every single place that I went in my entire life, or on my entire trip, and at the same time I was like, I can't speak with them, so all I could do is talk to myself. It was, yes, and I mean, and trust me, the cycle that goes around, I'm sure a lot of you can relate to it as well, is like comical. I was like misanthropic at Disney World. I was like watching middle-aged people like line up to take a picture of a dude in a bunny costume, and then I'm like, why are they doing this? And they're like, it's not just a bunny, the bunny was in a movie. And I'm like, which one? And people are like, I don't know, fucking one of the old ones probably. Yeah, dude, but then the thing that then comes in second is that I'm like, what kind of fucking idiot is like going to Disney World and then like being sad? But then I was also like, what kind of adult is like going to Disney World and they're like, oh shit, get out of my way, there's like a spoon that looks like Mickey Mouse. Like, and then I'm like, but that's what they're there for. That's Disney World, bro. Like, to get render unto Caesar that which is Caesar, and render unto Mickey that which is Mickey's. And then it's like self-pitying. I'm like, we're all in this together. And I'm like, we're all angels. And then the next day I'm like, we're all bugs. And then I'm like, yeah, but I'm the best bug. And then I'm like, no, you're the worst bug, because you're the ant who thinks that he's the king of the ants. You're the ant who thinks like, man, all these other ants are so stupid. But meanwhile, when you get hungry, you're still raiding the picnic basket just like everybody else. Can I also, I have some like classic, not depressed northernlion style anecdotes about Japan and Korea. Both amazing countries. We can rattle those off really quick. I promise I'm not just glazing them just to not be perceived as culturally insensitive. Going to Korea and Japan makes you depressed at first to be North American, because you're like, what the fuck? There's trains everywhere. You can literally, like, they're in Japan, there are trains from anywhere to like a town with 15,000 people, and the trains leave every like 11 minutes. And you're like, really? Like in North America, if I want to go from like Burrard Station to like Production Way University or something like that, there's like 12 minutes per train. I get the population density, okay? Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying like that the infrastructure that they have is amazing, which makes it all the more confounding that Japanese society has not yet accepted that you need the dryer to complement the washer, okay? I'm not trying to do the airplane food like Jerry Seinfeld bit here, but for a country that has literally, you can walk out of like your ryokan, walk 10 steps to like a hyper modern subway station, and then like be in Tokyo in 40 minutes, they still have not accepted that clothes dryer should be ubiquitous. One of the hotels we stayed at was like, there's no dryer, but don't worry about it, okay? What you do, instead of having a dryer, you wash your clothes, then you lay them out haphazardly on the shower room floor, and then you close that, you make a perfect seal, then there's a panel on the wall that causes like the room to get really, really hot, and like it sucks the moisture out, and they're like, after 24 to 30 hours, your clothes should be like, you know, just dry enough to be like, can I wear this? And it's still like damp when you put your underwear on, and then you smell it and you're like, did it even go through the washer at this point? Like we really just need, we're almost there. Like we've almost reached 100% actualization with our technology. We need a cultural exchange, okay? America receives Toto washlet bidets. Not just the bidet, but the panel on the side where if you're going to have diarrhea, you can press the button that plays like Paco Bell's Cannon or something like that. America gets those, and Japan gets functional clothing dryers. People are really out here like it's actually better to just hang your clothes up. What are you talking about, man? When you finish your washing cycle, the drying cycle takes like an hour. You don't have to check the 48-hour weather forecast. Oh, it's 80% humidity today. I better not do laundry until fucking June 17th or something like that. Like, what are you talking about? So, dryers are one thing. I also want to just, again, without being rude, what the fuck are you doing with the napkins, Japan? What are you doing with the napkins? Why are you serving a saucy meal with one portrait-oriented napkin that's like this big, and as soon as you wipe anything with it, it's not foldable, so you can use the other side, and then the thing is waxed, so you can't even like properly wipe up a liquid spill. Like, why did they wax the napkin? You made it hydrophobic so it doesn't absorb anything. Just use paper. It's okay. And then people, what about, it's environmental. It's environmentally friendly to do it this way. Okay, maybe. The shit's kind of driving me crazy. Like, you go to 7-Eleven and they're like, we don't give out bags anymore. You have to learn one more Japanese phrase, you white idiot. You got to learn, like, can I have a bag, please? So you're not carrying, like, 7 iced coffees out like this. Meanwhile, everything that you buy is, like, individually wrapped in plastic. Like, they're like, we're doing our part to, like, save the environment by not giving out plastic bags. Meanwhile, you get, like, a corn dog on a stick, and they're like, here's a single-use, disposable wet towel wrapped in plastic. And you're like, I was just kind of, and I think the same thing about North America, for the record, when I'm there, but I was misanthropic to begin with, I guess, at that point. Also, I have a secondary hypothesis. Obviously, there's lots of reasons, large economic and social reasons why the birth rates have lowered in Japan and Korea. Here's one I don't think people talk about all that much. 100 million people, 4 elevators. 4 elevators in the whole country. Trying to take your kid down into a subway station. The subway station is 20 kilometers long, which is incredible. Where's the elevator? That's at exit 37C. And as you try to like maneuver your stroller over there, the curbs are like 11 inches higher than the street, and like some stones are like popping off of the sidewalk and stuff like that. You walk over to the elevator. Now, I'd have to say, in Japan, it's more of a North American style system that I'm used to, where like when you line up for the elevator, the person who was there like first goes first, and the person who's there second goes second, which was nice for me. In Korea, I felt like I was losing my mind because I would like go to the stroller elevator that has like a picture of a stroller on it, and I would press the button and I would wait like, I don't know, 3 or 4 minutes for the elevator to show up. Then when it opened up, jam-packed. I'm not saying those people don't deserve to be on the elevator. I know there's some of this, like they could have invisible mobility issues, okay? I'm not judging that, but I'm first to the elevator with my stroller, and then like other people with strollers are trying to like push past me to get on the elevator before I get on the elevator, and I'm trying to like angle my stroller to like traffic block them so that they can't get on before me. But then I'm like, I don't feel comfortable doing that because I'm visibly not Korean, so I don't want them to be like, this guy's rude. Like, I'm trying to fit in, but by fitting in, I have to be rude. It's a fucked up like catch-22, man. So like, no joke, eventually I just started carrying my stroller like up the stairs, on the escalator, whatever. And then the sign on the escalator says like no strollers. I'm like, fuck it. The sign on the elevator said strollers, and it's packed with people who are not in strollers or holding strollers. So I'm taking my stroller up the stairs. Also, like in the midst of having like a mental breakdown and thinking about like what the meaning of life is, we visited Kate's 94-year-old grandmother, who lives alone in South Korea, which is amazing and inspirational in and of itself. Again, I was in this like melancholic mental state, and we get to her apartment, and she has 3 suitcases full of like old clothes that she's trying to give us, and I was like, I was like, the intersection of tragedy and comedy was getting me so good. Like, she opens up the suitcase and she's like handing my wife sweaters that have not been worn since like 1995. And Kate's going like, Grandma, I don't really like want this sweater. This sweater's like way too big for me. And then she's like, well, your husband can wear it. And I'm like, it's got like fucking like pink flowers and stuff on it. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I'm just saying it's like visibly not my style, and it was making me laugh. And then I was like, this is a fucked up existence. Is a fucked up thing, man. This is like the good outcome. She's 94 years old. She's like 14 years past the average female life expectancy. She's independent. Like, she's living alone, and she's living alone because she wants to live alone. Like, it's not like she got abandoned by her family. She was like, if you guys are just going to chill here, like in LA, then I'm going to go back and live in Seoul. And I'm like, that's amazing. But then I was also like, what the fuck is she doing, man? She's handing me like dress shirts in a box. Like, and the box visibly is like unopened, and it was clearly purchased in like the 1990s and is for like 110-pound Korean man. And I'm like, I'm saying thank you, but I'm also like, how am I gonna, we already got like 3 suitcases of our own stuff, and now I gotta figure out what, so we just ended up like, we spent an hour like going through the stuff. And then we went to the post office and like shipped a box of this stuff back home, and then went out to eat. Is any of it good? There was some stuff that I was like, this is kind of fire, man. But my wife disagreed, but she had some of those like Chanel style, like half jackets that are coming back in style for women. I don't even know how to describe it because I'm so like fashion ignorant, but they're like, Are they wool? Are they chiffon? I don't really know what to describe them as. Yeah, they're like crop top jackets with like big lapels, and like they're white with the black stripe on the border and stuff. Tweed. It might be tweed. And my wife was like, "What am I gonna do with this stuff?" And I was like, "Those tweed half jackets were pretty sick." And she was like, "You don't know what you're talking about." And I was like, "I know," but in my head I was like, "Those would go off." Do you know this? You want some shit that's gonna radicalize you? I hate to become like a caricature of 14-year-old people on Twitter. Did you know the Shinkansen was built in like 1964? I thought that motherfucker was built in like 1992 or something like that. That blew me away. Don't get me wrong, I wasn't going like 400 kilometers an hour right off the jump, but they built that motherfucker in Magical Mystery Tour. Japanese salarymen were like, they were chain smoking unfiltered cigarettes and listening to like the Beach Boys albums before Brian Wilson got sad. That shit came out before Pet Sounds. I figured it out because I was on the KTX. I don't even want to say where I was going because you guys are all going to type name of a zombie movie Bat Chest. But yes, I was on the literal, watching Train to Busan on the literal Train to Busan. No zombies, though, unless you count the people on their way to Hello Kitty World, which is in a different country, but it kind of ties the joke together. And I was like, I wonder when the KTX was built. And the shit was built in like, I don't know, 1999 or something like that. And I was like, that's pretty amazing. I wonder when the Shinkansen was built. 1964? And they drew up the plans in like 1933 or something like that. Got a little preoccupied with some stuff, and then like came back to it a few decades later, and they were still early as fuck. That's crazy, man. Car culture's the worst. Everybody gangsta till they're dragging 5 suitcases around Korea, and all the Busan taxi drivers are like, sorry, we can't take that much stuff. Every single one of us is driving like a 2-seater Kia. God bless Japan for having like those sedans that sacrifice a little bit of car space to actually have some trunk space. Also, I was freaking the fuck out, man. So the last hotel we stayed at in Japan was actually more like an Airbnb. And I gotta say, listen, everybody, the secret's out on Airbnb, but every time I think about it, I am like, what the fuck are we doing? I'm like, what do you mean it costs more than a hotel, isn't centrally located to like any venues or amenities or anything? I have to clean the motherfucker myself. I have to be quiet. There's no facilities, like there's no pool or like sauna or anything. There's like a little kitchenette and that's it. Like, what are we doing here? And then also, and then they're like, shh, don't tell anybody that you're not, if anybody asks, you've lived in this apartment for 10 years. So I gotta be like a spy to stay at this shitty fake hotel? Like, it doesn't make any sense. But anyway, the last place we were staying, it was kind of like a half Airbnb, half hotel sort of thing, which is like, I think they bought like an entire apartment building and turned every unit into an Airbnb. Regardless, we were sleeping there probably like 9 p.m. On our second last night, and then I hear dunk, 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 like somebody's knocking on our door. And I'm like, whatever, we don't live here, so I'm just gonna sleep through it. Then like a minute later, bing bong. Bing bong. So I said, okay, this is like, enough's enough. I gotta go see what's going on here. But I was not thinking straight because like I'm in a different country. I should just hunker down, right? So I get out of bed, I put my clothes on, put on the slippers that you wear to get from the room to the bed. Get to the genkan, which is the shoe pit at the front of the apartment, where you take off those slippers, because those slippers aren't allowed to touch the genkan, and then put on your shoes, which are the vile and carry the dirt of outside. Put those, so by the like time this 10 minutes is up, nobody's at the door, and I look outside, there's like a black van. I got like a shiver down my spine, and I just closed the door, locked it, put the deadbolt on, and then tried to go back to sleep, man. I'm sure that it was probably just like someone was knocking on the wrong door, probably a drunk Airbnb guest or something like that was like, this is my room, but actually it wasn't. But then I was like, I'm unsettled, man. What's the shoe thing? Listen, I'm not knocking. It's very clean everywhere. They must be onto something with the shoes and the slippers, but I was laughing because I don't know, like I'm paranoid about getting the etiquette wrong. We were staying at a hotel in Korea, so you take your shoes off at the hotel, inside the hotel room, you put on slippers. And then like one night we were doing laundry and I was just like, I'm sorry to say it, but I'm like too lazy to take the slippers off, to put shoes on, to go to the laundry room, to take shoes off, to put laundry slippers on, to get the laundry, to take the laundry slippers off, to put my shoes on, to go back to the hotel room door, take my shoes off and put the hotel room slippers on. So I walked outside with the hotel room slippers on, not outside just outside the room on the carpet that led to the laundry room, not even like into an elevator or something like that. And I was just praying that because it was late at night, no one would see me. Of course, I get like 3 steps, turn a corner, and like a housekeeper catches up to me and she's just speaking Korean to me, but I don't know what she's saying. And like, I'm having a panic attack, man, because I just hear her say like something, 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 shinbal, something, 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 shinbal. And I'm like, that means shoes. And I'm like, I just got to go to the laundry room. And she's like saying shinbal, shinbal. And I'm like, I don't know. I just need to get in the laundry room. I don't know what to tell you. She fucking hated my ass, man, for sure. But at the same time, I was like, I'm not going back to my room at this point, because then she knows where I'm staying. And she might fuck with the room. So like, at least I can be like a specter out here. I can just get my laundry and then wait till she's not looking and sneak in. I met a fellow Twitch streamer. You may know Alex, or also known as twitch.tv/Alex. We met up. We had some katsu curry. I think like it also briefly like saved my life. So we went to 3 aquariums, all right? My kid loves fish. First aquarium was in Korea. I was like, wow, cool fish. Second aquarium was when I was deep in the guts of introspection, the day after Sanrio Puroland broke my brain while I'm going through this like personal family stuff. And I was like, brother, these fish are me. They built, the fish are trapped in these beautiful, ornate sceneries that give them enough like fulfillment and distraction so they don't notice that they're fucking trapped. And I was like, sound familiar? That's human beings. I'm watching people walk over to the fish, not even look at the fish, just pose, get the hair right, take my photo next to this fish. Don't take a photo of the fish, okay? And see nature's beauty that evolved over 10 million years. Billions of years. We're starting with the first prokaryotic organisms, right? Have made a fish that's got eyes bulging out of his head. Don't even fucking look at it, man. Don't look at the fish. And don't take a picture of me looking at the fish, which doesn't capture the nature of beauty, but might capture the emotion of curiosity, me learning about the world around me. Instead, can you take a photo of me standing next to the fish so people know that I was at the aquarium? they can fill in the blanks that I was looking at the fish and appreciating it, but mostly it's like, check out my cute outfit. So I was losing my mind. And I was like, we're the fish. They built this beautiful box. They put incredible scenery in it so we don't realize we're being observed by the CCTV cameras in the corner, right? Not to mention the photos everybody's taken of each other, of which I'm inevitably in the reflection of the aquarium going like some kind of fucking moron. And then had lunch with Alex, had some social interaction, felt heard for the first time in like a week and a half. We went to an aquarium and I said, oh, cool fish. Wow, what an amazing creature. And not at a single point was I like, these fish are me. I'm the fish. I was just like, wow, dolphins can jump really fucking high. What I'm trying to say is that I think depression is bad, but it's also like a huge buff to internality. I was coming up with deep thoughts, the likes of which I haven't been able to scrape for like several years. Unfortunately, that's off the table because I exercised today, so all my problems are solved. Are you coming out as a fish? I'm just saying that I was losing it. And again, can I just to add this, because when it inevitably gets taken out of context, people are going to be like, this guy sounds like an asshole. I was being the asshole. They're just fun people going to the aquarium, taking a picture of the aquarium, going like this, and I'm in the corner like, humanity is a disease. Like I'm the fucking idiot, don't get me wrong. If you want to have those thoughts, you should just stay at home in bed. Instead, because I was on vacation, I'm like, I gotta go outside. Then when I was outside, I was like, ugh, people documenting their lives. At no point was I like, I'm the only person thinking straight. There were some times where I was like, I'm the only person here not in love with Hello Kitty, but I mean, again, what do you expect when you're at Hello Kitty Land? Evil Anthony Bourdain was a great way to put it. What the fuck are they doing with the food at Disney World, man? I get, like, every single place we ate at in Disney World, and some of the food tasted good, but you'd go to a restaurant and it would be called, like, you know, New York Deli. And then you look at the menu and it's like, we're bringing back American classics. Corn sandwich and trout pizza. And you're like, corn sandwich? Trout pizza? Sounds good as fuck. I mean, some of it was okay. I just felt like, again, it's... What do you expect at Disneyland, okay? But like, I'm eating at an Italian restaurant in fucking Mediterranean villa, a fake European set in Japanese Disney World, and I'm like, what's on the menu? They're like, you're not gonna believe this. We got something called long pizza. I get a long pizza. What is it? It's a baguette with like tomato sauce on it. I was like, this ain't long pizza, bro. It's a damn, like, open-faced marinara sandwich. Also, like, again, and I had a great time. I loved riding the roller coasters. I loved seeing the look on my daughter's face when she was riding her first roller coasters. She rode Space Mountain. Well, like, let's back it up. She rode Splash Mountain. I was worried that she was going to be terrified because the shit has a 5-story drop, right? She's 3 years old. It's at an angle. Like, we finished the ride, and she was like, that was really fun. I was like, oh, shit. Awesome. She rode Space Mountain. I was like, how was that one? She said it hurt a lot. I was like, damn. She's absolutely right. That motherfucker do be rattling you. I weigh like 180 pounds. She weighs like 40 pounds. She must have been smashing her head off the fucking sides. That shit, it rocks you, man. Did she like it? No, she said Space Mountain was not that fun, but she did enjoy Splash Mountain a lot. I was surprised you could go on these roller coasters at age 3, but she was chilling. Can I also say, Japan kind of based for like, their version of It's a Small World doesn't even include North America. Like, the only part they have that has North America is that, like, the very end of the ride, like a cowboy and a Native American are like standing next to each other. But, like, there's no Canada, there's no Mexico, there's no US. That's a little weird. Well, fucking, the one in Disneyland, if I remember correctly, the cowboy and the Native American are holding hands, which is way crazier to me. The one in Orlando and the one at Tokyo Disneyland. At least they were just like, here's like 2 elements of like North American history. The one in California, I was like, that's not how that shit went down, motherfucker. You know what's weird? I don't know if this is relatable for other people who have been, you know, in countries where they don't speak the language and are also not making an effort to learn the language, which is admittedly like disgraceful. In spite of all that, like I don't speak Korean, and I haven't really ever made an effort to learn how to speak Korean. Here I am in Korea. I go up to a restaurant or a food court counter, and the service staff look at me and they say hello, and I'm like, fuck you, man. You look at my face, you just assume A, that I don't speak Korean, even though context, I'm in Korea, motherfucker, and B, that I speak English and not like I'm not monolingually like German or Dutch or something like that. They assume right though? Yeah, I know, that's why it's fucked up, man. So something that happened multiple times is I would like walk up and they would say hello, and I would just go, because I've been practicing the order in my head for like 10 minutes and then trying to get the courage to order. I'd be like, 안녕하세요. Kimchi kimbap duge juseyo. And then they would go like, oh, like this motherfucker speaks Korean. And then they would say something in Korean and I would go, 죄송합니다. 한국말 못해요. Which means, I'm sorry, I don't speak Korean. Which must be a fucking confusing ass interaction for the person that's manning the counter. They walked up, spoke to me in English. I said, fuck that. Here's my order in Korean. They probably said like, do you want a bag? And I said, I don't speak Korean. It's fucking confusing, man. +2, I've been there. I don't know. Something's wrong with me. It feels good to be seen, though. It feels nice that people are saying, yes, that also happened to me. Just order in English. I know, but I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. Like, I walked into a Japanese pasta restaurant with my daughter. I was giving my wife a bit of a break. And then she taught me how to say, I don't speak Japanese, which is like, Nihongo dekimasen, which I got a lot of mileage out of, okay? First time I went to the pasta restaurant, apparently, I said, Nihongo dekimasu, or something like that. And that one syllable doesn't just change the meaning, it inverts it. So basically, I walked into the restaurant, and the dude said something in Japanese, and I said, I'm sorry, I speak Japanese. And then he looked at me like, what? And then I just kind of like looked at him, because I'm like, I don't know any other sentences, like how to proceed through the interaction. And then he was like, do you want an English menu? And I was like, hi, arigato gozaimasu. But then even like I'm looking at the English menu, and I'm like, how am I gonna order this shit? Like, I'm not gonna call this guy over and be like, tomato cream pasta, please. Like, so I just called him over, and I was just like, I'm a piece of shit. I was just like, and I like point to my daughter, and I'm like, one of these. It's so fucking embarrassing, man. For a 35-year-old man. I was like 22 or 23 when I lived in Korea, and I was like, what an adventure. I'll just walk into a random restaurant. Give me whatever this is. Fucking hooves come out. I'm like, whoa, hooves. I'm eating hooves. This is like my Emily in Paris moment. 35-year-old dad, I was like, what the fuck am I doing, man? I can't parent here. So there's these things in Korea called kids cafes, which are like indoor playgrounds, where it's kind of like a Chuck E. Cheese, but a lot smaller, and it costs like $3 an hour, which is crazy. So like day 2 or 3 in Korea, we went to a kids cafe, and it was beautiful, okay? She was the only kid in the whole cafe. She's jumping on trampolines. She's going down zip lines. Kate and I are drinking like, you know, iced coffees, laughing it up. It was beautiful. We go to Busan. Kate's, she's got friends in Busan, so she's like, I'm going to go see them. You're probably going to be bored because we're going to be speaking in Korean the whole time. I'm like, that is fair. So I'm like, I'm going to take our daughter to a kids cafe. I lived in Korea. I can do anything, right? So I Google a kids cafe close to our hotel. And I'm like, I can do this. Fucking channel the intrepid spirit that I had in 2010, 2011, okay? Took my daughter outside, got us ready. I'm like, we're going to a kids cafe. She's like, yeah! Get on there, find the bus that I'm supposed to take, okay? Get on the bus. The bus is going in the right direction. I'm doing the foreigner thing where I'm repeating the name of the bus stop in my head like the entire fucking ride, like MacGruber remembering the license plate. So they finally, like 7 stops in, I'm like, that's the one! Easy, God mode, right? So I get out and I'm looking at Google, first mistake, and I'm like, okay, it's in this building, and it's like something out of a movie. Because it's Seoul, there's like 30 stories, okay? It's a 30-story office tower that this kids cafe is supposed to be in. I don't know what floor it's on. So I'm looking at the sign outside, which literally has like 200 businesses on it, stretching up like 70 feet in the air. I'm going like, okay, floor 30, like that. I'm pretty sure that's like a hospital. I'm pretty sure that's like a fucking office, blah, 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 okay? So I'm looking at, and my kid the whole time is like trying to get hit by a car, essentially. So I'm like tugging on her sleeve, and I'm like going down, and I'm like, finally, like I keep looking, and I find one that says Kids Cafe. So I'm like, all right, Kids Cafe. I go up, I go in the elevator for the Kids Cafe. I get up there, and there's just, the lights are off. There's just one dude sitting at a desk, like surrounded by activities and stuff like that. And I'm like, fuck that, we're not doing this, because I don't know how to. I expected it to be like a kiosk, and I would hit like 2 hours and then put a bill into the machine, and then we would just chill. I can't go through the interaction of talk with this guy and be like, are you open? Like, what even is this? So I go back down, and I'm talking to Kate, and I'm like, I need to find another kids cafe. So she like sends me another one, and it's like another office tower, and I'm like, my kid is like, I'm bored. I want to get hit by a car. And I'm like, stop. And then eventually, like, you know, I don't even want to exaggerate. It was like an hour and a half trying to find it. Because like, apparently the one that I was trying to go to had an active Google listing, but has been out of business for like 8 months, which is funny for sure. And then like the one that Kate sent me was more like a school type thing. Like you send your kid at like 9 in the morning, and they do like a cooking class or something like that. And then I was like, I'm sorry, I have to just go back to the hotel. And my kid was freaking out. And I was like, I'm sorry, your dad's a piece of garbage. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to get around. I don't know how to ask anybody. I'm not going to walk up to like a random person and be like, excuse me, is there a kids cafe near here? And they're going to say something that I'm not going to understand, which is my fault. And I was like, I'll just be the bad dad today. So yeah, I had like a little bit of a crisis. There were a few like semi-crisis. They were all like not like, you know, dangerous moments. It was more just like dangerous for my psyche. Phone translating is pretty sick though. That's true. Google Lens was kind of popping off. Although I love when I would use it in Japan, and I would hold it up to like some Japanese kanji, and then it would just translate to like whatever the kanji sounds like without actually translating the meaning into English. You know, it's like okay, great. Now that I know that this says sisu, but like I don't know what sisu is. Bro had a life-changing event in 2 weeks of vacation. Okay, you'll be happy to know that like most of the conversation is steeped into like I'm mostly just embarrassed with myself. I was like, what kind of moron is like, let's go to Disneyland and like choose to be sad? But it was also, I mean, there was authenticity in that. At no point was I like, oh, like this country sucks, right? Like they like they really fucked up when they made everyone nice and polite in Japan and put the signs in the only language my dumbass speaks so I can easily get around. And I'm like, well, I can't hit the waiter with a witty bon mot, so like I've lost all my self-esteem. I didn't even talk about the airplane. Do you know we flew a budget airline? Motherfucker in front of us on the flight was blasting music. I think like he was so fucking old that I think he thought the music was coming out of his headphones quietly. So he kept cranking up the music, but his Bluetooth wasn't on. So he was just blasting like Japanese country music to our entire section of the airplane. I was like, I don't know what to do, man. Then, like, thankfully, I stood up to get something out of the overhead bin, and I, like, made eye contact with him. I think, like, he had a moment of realization, because I saw him, like, look at his headphones and be like, oh. Was it Zip Air? It was Zip Air. The check-in experience for Zip Air was quite horrible, but actually, like, the flight itself was totally fine. Which is, I'm not flight anxious anymore, but I have been kind of tweaking a little bit, seeing all these stories, and by all, I mean, like, you know, the one or two of them, but of, like, a flight will just be, like, flying, and then it's like, oh, they've fallen 4,000 feet out of the sky in 3 seconds, and, like, people are smashing their backs up against the overhead bins and stuff like that, like, all the hot air pockets that are, like, causing unforeseeable turbulence. I've been keeping my seatbelt on all the time. And I'm trying to put the seatbelt on my 3-year-old, and she's like, I don't want to wear the seatbelt. And I'm like, fine, okay, just get turned into a smoothie, but the overhead bin then. Sorry, fuck me, I guess, fuck me. Chibly-ass stream intro. I feel like I'm so back. I don't know if you're still here, either, Kate, but I was talking about, like, I think it's pathetic, but at least it's honest. I think I need stream to feel normal. How sad. But maybe it's not sad. Maybe I'm the only streamer being honest. So I was like, I mean, it's been like half of my life. It's almost all of my adult life I've been a streamer. So I was like, why the fuck is my self-esteem in the toilet when I'm in Japan? And I'm like, okay, because I'm used to having like 2,000 people a day be like, you're the funniest motherfucker on the planet. And now I'm in 2 countries where I can't even speak the language. Like, I'm a... Of course I'm going through a crisis right now. I've been, like, addicted to validation, and now I'm in a country where I can't even, like, I can basically order food, and that's about it. Like, it was a cold plunge of the soul, bro. Can I tell you about that Splash Mountain photo as well? So, I'm not good with roller coasters. Sometimes I will ride them. And usually, like, when I'm riding them, I actually have an okay time. You know, it's like the anxiety in advance that's baseless, but also it gets me. I was like, in every single ride photo I've ever taken in my entire life, and Librarian can validate this for sure, the fear of God comes over me. Even on rides where I've been like, this ride is not that crazy, like the Flume photo from South Korea last time we went, that was like a baby ride for like little kids. And I was like, this ain't nothing. We get to the drop. The drop's like 10 feet. I'm like, ah! Like, it just comes over me, right? So the whole, and this is so embarrassing to admit, the whole ride on Splash Mountain, I was like, I'm going to be at inner peace in this photo. Even if there's a war inside of me, there's going to be inner peace on my face in the photo, okay? So I know that the way Splash Mountain works, because before the ride, I'm like, I got to go to the Wikipedia for this ride, so I'm prepared for it, right? Like, I got to stress myself out before I get on this instead of just living in the moment. It's like before I used to get on airplanes back when I was afraid of flying, I would be like, oh, I'm in a fucking de Havilland's Comet today. Let me see how many of those have crashed in history. So I know Splash Mountain has like a little dip, and then a little dip, and then it's got the big drop, right? So I go to the first little dip happens. I was like, this is a great opportunity to practice. So I'm like, inner peace on my face. Little drop happens. I feel my inner peace go like, and I'm like, okay, we can't let that happen again. Second drop, inner peace, do a little bit better. Feel like I was kind of like gripping the handrails, like white knuckling it, but I was doing okay. And then on the big drop, that was the calmest I could muster my face. But I was literally like that. That's how I'm lucky the angle was like here, because if it had been like straight on, you would have seen I was baring like all of my teeth. And you can see I'm like straining my neck, and like there's a vein like popping out and stuff like that. Like, that was me trying to maintain a sense of stoicism. A, to prove I could do it. B, to not give my wife the ick. And C, so that my daughter knows that everything's okay and there's nothing to be scared of, even though I was scared. And then on Space Mountain, so we did Splash Mountain, got it done, and I was like, that was fun. That was a good ride, I get it. Then on Space Mountain, I was like, now I can actually achieve inner peace. I swear to God, I did. It doesn't matter because Space Mountain is completely dark, okay? But I did the whole ride with my eyes closed, almost pretending to be asleep like this. And then I was like, I don't know when the camera is gonna shoot the photo, but in the photo, I'm gonna be like asleep. And it's gonna be a great photo. And then they didn't even have like a fucking photo stand at the end of it. So I just did the whole ride pretending to be asleep like some kind of fucking moron. It's just wasted my time. It was kind of funny though. I also think like, part of the life crisis was that like our daycare took a month off right before we left on vacation. And then we took 2 weeks off, like literally the day she came back. So we went from like mostly full-time parenting to like on vacation full-time parenting. So I was like a little burned out on it. And then my kid was a little, poorly behaved sometimes, which makes sense because we were spending like, a lot of time doing stuff that, like traveling on trains, where I think that she was like, cool, a train. But then like a minute later, she's like, I need something more than this. And I'm like, I get it. / marker. Balatro. Okay, we're so back. I am back from 2 weeks away and excited to play some Balatro. You might say, NL, I'm excited for the anecdotes. You have missed the anecdotes. The anecdotes happened at the start. We did an hour of just chatting where I talked about how I've lost control of my life, but I've regained it a little bit. I think I've regained it. Hey, Pickle Down Rickonomics, thanks for the gifted subscriptions. Thank you. Happy partner anniversary. I had no idea it was coming up. You know what's funny is like, I don't know if non-streamers know this. I guess why would they? If you are a streamer and you don't stream on Twitch for like a couple of weeks, they start sending you emails that are like, how can we win you back? It's like when you take an Uber ride and then like the next day Uber sends you an email that's like, hey, how'd you like your ride? If you're itching for another one, here's a 20% off coupon. And you're like, easy, buddy. My ass ain't going anywhere. Like you should have hit me up a couple of days ago before I needed a ride. I'm not hopping in some stranger's Toyota Camry just for fun. They do that? I know every email I have from Uber is like so embarrassing for them. Like I feel like they're so down bad for my business. Like the Uber Eats emails, at least I get it. They might catch someone in a moment of weakness. They might, hey, it's Pizza Tuesday. Have some pizza. And you're like, okay, fine, you got me. 20% coupon, no sweat. But like Uber, like I'm not gonna just like go for a ride just for fun. That's mental illness and like not the productive kind. Hey, Valentine, thanks for the gifted subscriptions, by the way. Thank you. Streaming is not hard, that's a given. But it's kind of weird to get back in the mindset after 2 weeks of the opposite of streaming. What's the opposite of streaming, you might ask? Asking what we're gonna get for lunch a minute after you finish breakfast, and then rehearsing the phrase that you're gonna say to order lunch, the 3-hour interval between breakfast and lunch. So that's like very considerate communication. This is the opposite. I'm just saying like whatever pops into my head and like letting it fly, full auto, while also reading simultaneously at the same time. I gotta get back into the mindset, man. Yeah, vacation makes you acutely aware of how much work is. Okay, let's not go crazy. It is mostly playing video games. Your job is probably hard. Nah, not really. I'm mostly just responding to emails. Okay, well, you know what? But that's good. I'm glad those jobs exist. I'm glad you're not working at the mud factory with your shirt off, heaving those huge pipes around, getting a couple of beers with your lads after you finish. Hey, after work happy hour's over, you want to keep the party going? Sure, let me just send a text real quick. Next thing you know, it's 1 a.m. You're hopping out of the club like that Balenciaga model looking for what the fuck a 1997 Toyota Sienna looks like from the Uber you just ordered. We've all been there, man. It's Pride Month. Live a little, okay? So true. Thank you for remembering. I'm probably like the best ally in the world, to be honest with you. Any other straight motherfuckers out there, full-faced, asking their chat, hey gay guys, do you find balls sexually attractive? No, they're too scared. I'm not scared, I'm curious. Like, cause I don't. You already did this bit? I know, but it's like, it's interesting to me. The cock I get, it has like, maybe this is like straight brain, but I'm like, it has an obvious function. And it undergoes a change, which as we all know from like storytelling 101 is like the most important part of like having an impact. The balls ancillary, you know, they're kind of like, they're there. They do move around a little bit, but they're mostly like a little bit more like behind the scenes. It's like a stage manager versus like the play director. Mostly I'm annoyed because I've got like, my balls are kind of fucked up. Like I got a one normal size ball and then I got one that used to be huge and then I had the surgery and now it's not huge, but it's definitely demonstrably bigger than the other one. Don't panic. It's been like that for 20 years. You got nothing to worry about. I don't have good balls. The shaft I'll leave up to the imagination. That's neither here nor there. The important thing is I don't know what I'm doing with it. I got bad balls too. Listen, I didn't say bad. I got like there's a little like Forrest Whitaker type asymmetry going on, but asymmetry can be attractive in its own way, right? Tell me I'm right about that one, please. You should be balls maxing. Get it twisted. It's so, like, by the way, I think this is self-aggrandizing. It's so nice to still have it, because you don't know, man. When I came back, let me just put it this way. The man who left, or the man who came back, was not the man who left. And I don't know at this point if I don't recognize the man that stepped on the plane, or if I don't recognize the man that stepped off. I'm still trying to, like, reason that out. But the banter's still in there. And I did, because it was 2 weeks without it, you know? If you don't use it, you lose it. Well, some people maybe. Oh. You rooting for the Oilers? I won't be watching the games because I have a life, but I will be rooting for the Oilers. When I check the scores in the morning, I will... Wait, I want this banana to break. Let's buy this. I will be saying good when the Oilers win, and when they lose, I'll be saying, it's okay too. I got nothing against the Florida Panthers. You know, we're all God's children, is I guess what I'm trying to say, and all things are possible through the power of Christ. Did I mention I became deeply religious while I was away? Me too. Who the fuck are you, man? Why are you taking my moment from me? Why are you stealing my moment? We got a picture of it on Splash Mountain. I'm being serious. How do those motherfuckers play like board games and like shit on Splash Mountain, man? I'm fighting for my life on every roller coaster. Kate will tell you, I can't... Even like we were riding some baby roller coasters with my daughter. There's like dads that are filming like front-facing camera to see their kids' reactions the whole roller coaster. I'm like, I can't do that shit. I'm dropping my phone 100%. I'll probably be like squeezing the phone too hard and it'll like pop out of my hands like a stick of butter or something like that. I gotta like, I'm white knuckling the thing the whole time. The only exception is when I'm riding next to my daughter on the roller coaster. I'll put one arm over her, even though she's got like the seat belt or the lap bar on. Probably like completely ruining her roller coaster experience because she feels like she's being restrained by a large animal. Are you secretly a Disney adult? Listen to me, okay? Because I'm not going to say this again until someone brings it up again. I am literally not a Disney adult. Now, have I been to Disney parks 3 times in the last 18 months? Yes. Have I been on 4 Disney cruises? Yes. That does not make me a Disney adult. How am I not a Disney adult? Jay, cover your ears, okay? I don't have a tattoo of like a prop from Snow White or Bambi or some shit like that. I don't have a bedazzled Disney backpack, a lounge fly backpack with like the Mickey Mouse ears that perfectly represent me. I don't lose my mind. You will not catch me in line to take a photo of a dude in a costume because I'm mentally cooked. I'm like, that's a dude in a costume. Even if it was the real fucking Jafar, I don't want to take a photo with the real Jafar because I'm like, as far as I'm concerned, I'm a little resentful that villainous motherfucker is walking around like a free man. Sure, that shit happened like 30 years ago. Like, I guess he's paid his debt to society. But at the same time, like, even if it was the genuine Jafar, I don't need a photo with that motherfucker. He's evil. But this is a facade of the real Jafar, which is somehow even more evil. You're dressed up like a damn villain, bro. You don't see me going at Halloween dressed up as like Ted Kaczynski or some shit like that. People would be like, arrest this motherfucker. And do I have some Disney shirts? I do have some Disney shirts, okay? You will not catch me buying a spoon with Mickey Mouse ears on it, though. That's not going to happen. That's all I'm going to say. I did not say shout out to the Unabomber, okay? You're taking me out of context. Kate is also not a Disney adult. She likes the parks. She enjoys some of the movies, but she is not a Disney adult. All I'm saying is you can't know if someone is a Disney adult unless you've seen Disney adults. She has, no, you're getting it twisted here. You are Disney adults. Didn't all you motherfuckers watch the Jenny Nicholson 4-hour video essay? As far as I'm concerned, that makes you a Disney adult. I haven't even seen 4 hours of Disney movies in the past year. I gotta see Furiosa. It got the Kojima seal of approval. You see the tweet that had a picture of Hideo Kojima and George Miller, and it said Dick Rider? Hideo Kojima has tweeted about George Miller 67,000 times. That's 76% of his tweets. Second only to Hunter Schafer at 87%. Great tweet. Great. It feels so good to be back. Oh, man, it feels good. All face cards are drawn face down, huh? See you later, motherfucker! Could you strike out Timothy Chalamet with 3 straight pitches? Honestly, that's a load-bearing post. No doubt about that. I don't remember the whole thing, but I've read it 20 times. The second pitch is the one where he's like, what, like... Second pitch, 97 mile an hour fastball. Looking. Fuck you, Lady Bird fucking sucked. Which is not true. It's a great movie. It's a superlative film. But it's a great tweet. He's drowning. That's what he says. Yeah. Lady Bird sucked. Kill yourself. Oh, man. I'm going to say that was the second best tweet that I saw when I was away. The best tweet, at the end of the day, I'm a millennial, right? So the best tweet that I saw when I was away from my perspective was the end of Seven, but with Seth Rogen, James Franco, and Danny McBride instead. It's like, James Franco, there's nothing in the box, man. Don't worry about it. That's your wife's head, Kimosabi. What the fuck? That is fucking gnarly, dude. The tweet is so good. People fucking hate Seth Rogen, man. I love that dude. It'd be people that are like Blaze 24/7 that are like, all he talks about is weed. Look in the mirror, motherfucker. Cod. People always do the haha weed bit, and he's done a lot of weed comedy, don't get me wrong. But like, you know, he's also done 50-50. He also did Long Shot. You know, he tried Funny People. It didn't fully work, I think, but he had some like higher-minded ambitions. He also produced The Boys. Yeah, I'm not gonna hold it against him though. It's mostly a joke, I guess. What about the movie where he's teleported through time and becomes a pickle manufacturer in 2020 New York? Okay, listen, Bro, he doesn't travel through time, okay? He is an actor and a writer and a comedian. The character he plays also doesn't travel through time. They fall in a vat of pickling juice and are preserved and then are de-pickled in modern day North America, where he then has to live with his great-great-grandson. And it's all about the generational difference of like this dude from like 1700s Poland is trying to interact with his great-great-grandson who's like an app developer and stuff. Anyway, finally someone else has seen that movie. It's so funny to think about how fast like the media landscape changed. Because like now they're like, Challengers is coming to MGM Plus. And I'm like, hey man, hey, fuck you. I don't care if like a cure for heart disease is coming to MGM Plus. We are fucking done with subscription services. I don't care if you're The Godfather 2 is only going to be available on Tubi. You will catch my ass being deprived of Francis Ford Coppola's best movie then, unless Apocalypse Now happens to be on. Well, in Dracula I got a soft spot, but it's neither here nor there. But back in 2020, I was like, yeah, fuck it. I'll subscribe to Crave to see an American Pickle. It's June 2020. What the fuck else am I gonna do? Yeah, wow, was it good? Not really. Did I watch it? Probably like within 3 hours of it premiering. We don't need DNA, it's not necessary. Fucking bacteria. We don't need DNA. We're bacteria guys. Of course we reproduce via RNA. Oh, no. It's still in there, huh? Oh, man. You're not wrong. This is a fucking crazy shot, bro. It's like 3 of the best Jokers in Earth's history. And I've done nothing to deserve it. Maybe I'm anointed. I don't know. Seth Rogen's son or James Franco daughter. Please don't send a chill down my spine with the 3-word phrase James Franco daughter ever again. That's like a CIA sleeper agent. Like if they left that as a fucking voicemail or something like that, I would move to, I don't even know where I would go, and I bet they'd find me. Seth Rogen daughter, 100%, yeah. I don't see anything wrong with Seth Rogen. He's not, I know that it's like weed, haha, but not, only like 30% of his material's about weed. That's a lot, don't get me wrong, but it's not 100%. It also seems like he mostly just like makes pots these days, which is, I guess, kind of ironic. Buy low on James Franco, he's making Blood Meridian, brother. Come on, man. I mean, that would be a comeback story. If somehow he makes the movie and then also it's good enough to somehow like uncancel him. But I think that's like, that's hard. But that's a penny stock. But you won't catch me being James Franco's roaring kitty. Meow. I'm not loading up on $18 million in James Franco calls. Is he playing Judge Judy or whatever? I don't know what I'm talking about. I've been out of the discourse for 2 weeks. People pop into my chat. Hey, NL, what do you think about cishet boyfriends of bisexual baddies going to functions at Pride? And I'm like, none of these words mean anything to me. I don't know what... I'm not the guy who should be weighing in on that kind of stuff. Please tell me what you think. I don't even know. I'm not cool enough to ever been invited to like a Pride party. I don't think people are like, he's homophobic. I think they're just like, look at him. He's not the guy you want at the Pride party. Maybe if they do like a board game night or something, he'd come there and do his impression of like, you know, hey, what if Tom Hardy as Bane played Fraser Crane in the Fraser Crane reboot? Niles! I don't have a cup with me. I wish maybe an old Coke can. Niles! You thought the Zinfandel was your ally. You merely adopted it. You don't want me at the at the parade. What am I gonna do? Clap? Yeah? I wish them the best, don't get me wrong. I understand why they don't invite me. I'm a boyfriend of a bi woman. Is this like a BYE, like, my wife left! My heart! She took the kids to a birthday party at Dave & Buster's! Because it's expensive. Just take the money? Okay. Speaking of which, people are saying Twitch raised sub prices. I see how it is. Inflation is outstripping wage growth. We need to raise the salaries of all workers. Not streamers, though. Not streamers. Okay, man. Fuck me, I guess. I thought we were all united, you know, in struggle, but apparently not. We Joker gets invited to the function. You can just tell, man. You can just tell. Just look at him. You're invited to the function. You're invited to the function. Let's be honest. That's me. He's creeping everybody out. They're like, why are you here not having fun but pretending to have fun? And I'm like, because I never learned how to do it any other sort of way, honestly. Clown is good, though. He's not invited to my function either, honestly. Did you really re-roll for the bit? Okay. You got me. I do have questions. And you got answers. Go ahead and ask them. I feel like I'm like a straight astronaut. Which, as we know from Neil Armstrong, Michael Collins, and Buzz Aldrin, would probably make me one of the first. I'm going out into like gay space and like learning about it and then bringing the information back to my social circles where they're like, man, why the fuck are you talking about this? We're trying to enjoy just our trip to the grocery store. What are you talking about? I'm saying I have questions and I need you to answer them. It's going to be an elite bit. I don't know about that. Like, here's a question I have, and I'm just being... It's not about the balls anymore. That's a solved question. I'm sure it's different for every person. It's different for every partnership, etc. What's the ratio of face-to-face versus hitting it from the back? Same goes for straight people. I'm sure it's a different ratio depending on your preferences and stuff. 50-50? See, that's crazy to me, like in a curious way. Because I'm like, anatomically, I don't think I could do it face to face. Like, does it... I don't think I'm that flexible, or am I underestimating my own abilities? Pillows? Is it like an ankles on shoulders type of thing that changes the kinematics of it? Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, there you go. See, we're learning something. Please pick a planet. Why are you so intimidated by this conversation? I think it's a good question, bro. Because when I was a teenager, I would have said it's 0% face-to-face and 100% back shots. Because that just seemed to make the most sense to me. But as I got older, I'm like, people, you live a long life. You mix it up. I'm sure 50-50 is still, it's a surprise to me. Babysitting in Japan. Daniel, you're just in time. Daniel Raiders, perfect timing. We were just asking the gay community what percentage of gay intercourse is face-to-face versus back shots. You may be surprised to find that the consensus seems to be that it's about an even split. And we didn't even get into is it called cowboy and reverse cowboy? Or do you just stick with the nomenclature that they've been using like in the straight community forever? Like, are you like, let's switch it up and go reverse cowboy tonight? I guess that's hitting it from the back. But I'm not good at the shape rotating. So I'm like, maybe it's flipped a little bit or like inverted. I'm in tears. I'm the only one asking questions that we want to know the answers to, man. Please stop. My sister's watching. Wouldn't it be way more embarrassing for your sister to be like, oh, my fucking brother is watching this dude Let's Play Balatro again. Oh, I gotta dump my queens because I got ride the bus. Like, this is it, man. The connection between people and the fucking insanity and the variance and the diversity in human experience, even though we're all made of the same stardust. That's what unites us, brother. Can I ask another question? Missionary and I think most people would agree with me here, probably considered the default straight intercourse position, which leads to it being maligned as vanilla. Is it inverted in the gay community? Are back shots like, oh, back shots again, and missionary is like, oh, like they're mixed, or is it still the default? It's personal preference. I get you're saying don't ask me what my personal preference is. Okay, so I'm not trying to like cause a problem for you or anything. I'm just asking if there was a consensus that you could glean. Because it's different for like I'm not trying to knock you off your high horse, okay? Straight people could pull that card too. Could be like, actually, for some people, missionary is not the default. You'd be like, shut up, motherfucker! It's Pride Month. So now I'm giving you your space to talk about it and to educate me a little bit, and you're telling me, oh, it depends. No, fucking give me the magic bullet. Give me the secret answer that you're not telling people. Missionary's goated when you want to see your partner's face. You know, it's like, you're not lying, but it has the same energy as that tweet that's like, yo, water hits like crazy when you're thirsty. You're like, of course. That's what it's fucking there for, man. Like, I get you're not... You didn't do anything wrong, but I'm like, you know, yeah, obviously. Like, food goes crazy when you're hungry. So what I'm saying is I'm probably the only honest ally. Because, like, I feel like a lot of straight people would quietly or loudly support the gay community, which is great. And then like a smaller proportion would ask these kind of questions, but I always feel like there's almost like a Louis Theroux type, like, let's see how they do it on the other side. Like, isn't that unusual? I'm coming at it because I want to know more about you. I want to know, like, because we're all human beings, man. You ever been pegged? First off, that's a fucking personal ass question. Secondly, thank you for asking me, because I just got off of 2 weeks of like 7-Eleven staff being so unreasonably polite to me, which made me feel like even worse about myself. So to have someone like really go over the top with a fucked up question you should never ask a stranger actually makes me feel like I'm at home, which I really appreciate. Thirdly, no, but I just think like, I mean, I'm not that interested in the idea of it for one. And then secondly, like after I had the food poisoning incident, I just don't want to subject, you know, the woman that I love to being in that area, especially if she's never really expressed an interest in wanting to really be closer to it. So it also, just for me personally, like it seems annoying to me. And this is in solidarity. It's not like an, ooh, gross, how do you do this? It's more like it must be annoying sometimes. I would want to do like some hair maintenance back there. And it's hard to do like by yourself because my arms aren't that long. And then like, I'm sure you got to do a little prep in advance to make it safe and fun for everybody. So like, I mean, it just seems like a lot of work for me to do. But like, you know, I don't know. Her birthday's still pretty far away, but talk to me next year if she was interested in it. I don't know. For me though, I don't really see the you're right, ectoplasm, thank you. I don't see the appeal for me personally, but I mean there's got to be something to it, right? People are doing it. Too lazy to bottom? Well, I don't know, because I feel like I'm like way out of my depth now. I mean, these are important questions. I'm trying to interface, okay? This is a genuine question. Follow me from the start of the sentence to the end. In straight, penis in vagina intercourse, can the woman be considered a top? Or is the man always the top by virtue of being the one doing the penetrating? Because it's not, because you can bottom from the top, right? You know what I mean by that? If individual A is riding individual B, by default, I would assume that individual A, by doing the riding, is the top. But sometimes I guess you could probably be on top from a spatial orientation standpoint, but occupy the roles and responsibilities of a bottom. Oh, and you're right. Now we're in It's Always Sunny territory. I won't be Googling any of this because it used to be like, don't Google it. You might learn something that's uncomfortable. Now it's like, don't Google it. Google will tell you to drink fucking antifreeze and you'll die. I'd rather ask real human beings who hopefully have some experience living it and then could tell it to me, and then we've learned something about the world that we're in, okay? Can we change the name to Horny Tuesday? I'm not sprung. I'm asking questions about sex. That's very different than like horny posting. Like, did you notice that when I talked about straight sex, I said penis and vagina? I didn't say like throbbing hard cock in wet pussy. Like there's a different, you code switch depending on whether it's like a learning experience, like whether you're in an educational mode or it's like you're on the job, okay? Please stop. You're babies. You won't survive the coming winter. You're babies. You know that was like a health class in the 6th grade, is you walk up and pull a funny word out of a hat and then you have to like say fucking balls without laughing in front of 30 other kids your age who are all trying not to laugh while you say Wait, class, today we're going to teach you that these are just words, okay? Words aren't funny. To demonstrate this, we're going to have you do stand-up comedy saying the funniest word you're aware of while everybody in the class laughs at you. Clitoris. No, you guffawed. Do it again. Squirt. It's just skin, man. It's something. I don't really know what it is, honestly. Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing? Speed, why are you suppressing your guffaw, good sir? What is it? My mother is completely devoid of a house, sort of.
Sir Watkins, it is a necessity that I acquire this victory I played. My mother completely lacks a homestead to a partial extent. I reside alongside my father. I merely would like to aid her. Sir Watkins, I'm gazing over your film as we speak. Why are you suppressing your guffaw? That is exceedingly discourteous. What unmannerly behavior from you? Why is this? Quit your cackling, sir!
Speed, I'm looking at your film. Why are you cackling, chap? Hey, by the way, can I tell you a moment that unified me with Japanese culture? The day we left Japan, I woke up at 6:03 a.m. to my phone blaring an insanely loud klaxon, like, and then I picked up my phone and there was a big red triangle on it, and then something in Japanese, so I just hit OK. And then the English thing popped up and it said, we have detected an imminent earthquake, like in your vicinity, take cover, but like not under some shit that's breakable or something. I was like, oh shit. Like Kate came out of the bathroom and we just like ducked and covered. And then we waited like 3 minutes. Like we waited long enough for me to like be Googling like what to do in an earthquake. My daughter slept through it, which is insane. But anyway, so like 5 minutes or something went by and I was like, I don't think the earthquake's coming. I went online to figure out like, was there an earthquake? And yeah, it turns out there was an earthquake like so like slightly north of Tokyo. That was like a 5 on the Richter scale or something like that. Anyway, I was like, oh, I wonder, like, I was reading like comments about it. Every culture on earth is exactly the same. Same thing happens in Vancouver when there's like an Amber Alert or something like that. Every single comment in this Reddit thread about the Japanese earthquake, it's my one day to sleep in. Oh, I wish that the divine voice of God didn't rouse me from my slumber to telepathically alert me that the whole fucking earth is possibly gonna shake in 2 minutes and allow me to prepare myself and not die. And actually, nice, thanks for nothing, guys. It was actually 30 kilometers northwest of me. Maybe you could tighten up the sensors on the seismometer a little bit. Basically, the Almighty, this is something that would have been imperceivable, or inconceivable, I should say, to human beings, even like 30 years ago, that you could get a message sent by a satellite that's like, hey, there's going to be an earthquake in 3 minutes. Get the cover. People are like, yeah, but it was in Nara, and I'm in fucking Gifu, bro. That's like 2 train lines away. 30 years ago was the 90s? Yeah, and I think in the 90s we couldn't have perceived of that shit. It was one of those mysteries. It was like teenage pregnancy. It's like, it just fucking happens. Nobody knows the machinations of it. I will say I was getting a little tilted, especially in Korea. It's like, again, can I tell you something? I'm a very judgmental person. You could probably guess that if you've watched a reasonable amount of my content. Not necessarily unkind, but certainly judgmental. One of the best things about being back in Canada is when I see someone acting fucked up, I can be like, wow, they're fucked up. Whereas whenever I saw someone acting fucked up in Asia, I was like, well, I don't know if this is just like a normal person who's doing something that like is culturally appropriate to do here, but I don't know that it's appropriate to do here because I don't know the unspoken rules of the land, right? So basically it allows me to more effectively be an asshole without being accused of being, racist, I guess. Which is great because I'm judging them internally to begin with. I will say I was getting tilted in South Korea because it felt like whenever we were out with our kid, if our kid cried or made noise like of any sort, we get a lot of people like looking at us, like kind of like, shut your kid up. Like, oh, your kid's like disturbing me right now. Like, oh, I'm at fucking Disneyland. Why is there a child here? And I'm like, there's no way for me to go off. But the number of times that like people would like look at my kid with disdain, and I would be like, you're a 30-year-old dude with Snoopy on your shirt, motherfucker. Like, what are we doing here? Can you just relax a little bit? Just the way of the world. You see that I'm not going off on the guy, okay? I think he realized his mistake. But the guy who tweeted there should be like children's only grocery stores, and then everybody in the comments is like, hey man, fuck you. The airplanes, people will at least meet you in the middle of the airplane conversation. They'll be like, yeah, it is annoying when a kid cries on a flight. And yeah, I got noise canceling headphones, but it does burn the battery life up a lot. Yeah, Well, I'm trying to watch Ant-Man and Quantumania here, but I'm missing some of the dialogue because there's a kid who is unaware of the severity of the situation right now. Their animal brain is going like, oh, I'm 30,000 feet in the air right now. What the fuck is going on? Whereas when you get older, you can suppress it a little bit and you can drink and you can maybe take like a lorazepam or something like that. But like the grocery store, you're like, brother, your ass needs to callous up a little bit. You can't have your kid at the store where you buy food for your kid anymore. Maybe you should just fucking, I don't know. Maybe you should just move into like a retirement home. Oh, you hate old people too? Oh, the only people you can tolerate are people like in your exact demographic who share the exact same opinions as you. Okay, how is that? Is that good? Is that a good reflection of your personality? Do you think there's a shred of humanity still in there somewhere? Yeah, stay on Reddit then. It's all 19-year-olds who hate kids. Favorite lift in the gym? Brazilian butt lift. Next question. BBL son or BBL daughter? Is BBL son like 100%? Let me tell you why. You're going to be like, NL, that doesn't make any sense. You might even say, NL, that's sexist. That's for you to judge after I tell you what I'm about to say, okay? I would feel, and this, my son and my daughter, hypothetically, as adults, they would be their own individuals who can make their own decisions within the context of their lived experience, okay? But I would feel bad, I think, at first if my daughter told me that she got a Brazilian butt lift, because I would think that she was doing it because she wanted to meet some, like, expectations of society, and I would just want to sit her down and say, like, you don't have to do that. You're beautiful as you are. Also, like, your dad's got a fatty. So like you probably don't need surgical enhancement to begin with, but that's not for me to say, that's for you. Whereas if my son, my hypothetical son, if he got a BBL, I think he'd just want the fucking birthday cake so we could throw it back. And honestly, I support living his life like that. So that's why I say BBL son over BBL daughter. I would support both or either of them given the circumstances, for the record. But, you know, if you're going to force my hand, yeah. Sorry, I blacked out for a second. I was laughing. So you didn't do anything wrong, and this person also didn't do anything wrong. But there was an engagement farming tweet that got me laughing because it was like, you know, the toddler with, or the not the toddler with the gun, but the, you know, the one that's like me when I have to shoot Tony Hawk in the race war, and it's Wesley Snipes from a movie with like a gun, but he's got tears rolling down his eyes. I saw a tweet from a blue check that was like, me when I have to unsubscribe from a YouTuber I used to love who's increasingly annoying. And I was like, okay, I gotta go in the comments because I gotta see. I'm out there enough that like, I don't think my name's gonna be in the top 50, but I gotta scroll until I see my name. And I was laughing, I'm scrolling. I'm not naming names, I'm scrolling. And finally I get to someone and it says something like, that was me when NL stopped doing full playthroughs of video games. And I was laughing because I was like, dude, listen, you're a human being just like me. You're fucking like 32 years old, buddy. That was like 10 years ago. Like, I don't know what to say, but at this point, I'm just like, explain yourself. Did you like the tweet? No, but they're within their rights to say it. You can unsubscribe for a variety of different reasons. I did not say that their emotions are invalid. I was more just like, I was like, damn, I'm impressed. Like, he's holding a grudge. Because, like, I mean, we still have played through, like, full games fairly recently. But yeah, there was a time where I was like, hello, everybody. Welcome back to episode 1 of Northernlion Plays Children of Morta. This is a really cool looking game that I played it at PAX West. I played a demo at PAX West. It seemed fun. And you know I like roguelites, so make sure you smash that subscribe button. And I was like, again, there's a diversity of human experience, okay? But like, for a man my age to be like, I miss that era. I was like, wow, okay, it really does. The world really does not move to the beat of just one drum. You ever revisit your old videos? I don't even like visit them. I don't visit my new videos. That's not for me. It's like, it's for you. Not to be like, I'm not like, oh, here's like another pearl of wisdom from the modern day Socrates. But I'm just like, I'm not gonna, I live with this shit all day, man. I'm not gonna watch my own videos. That's crazy. Clips, yes. Because then somebody's like going through the stream and they're like, here's the 3 parts where you were funny. And I'm like, damn, I'm hilarious. But like the whole stream, not conducive to a healthy mental state, I would say. You know why your voice changes so much every few years? Yeah, brother, because no man ever steps foot in the same river. It's not the same river and it's not the same man. Because I've changed the world in that 3-year period, and because the world has changed me. I think the real question is, why are you the same? You watch the news lately? I try to avoid the news, honestly. POV, you are Huey Lewis after the divorce, or whatever. Fuck you. That's just... Oh, man. She took the band. Art Brutt be like, took the band. Do people know Art Brutt anymore? Look at us. She took the band. Yeah, no. What? No, nobody knows Art Brutt, huh? Okay. You don't know Art Brutt? Brutt is pronounced brute. I am brute. Champagne when it's in Guardians of the Galaxy. I can't fucking do this, man. I can't fucking say shit like that for the rest of my life. Wow, I don't know any other way to be, though. I don't know any other way to be. Alright, fine. Champagne when it's in Guardians of the Galaxy, motherfucker. It doesn't even... Also gotta pee. Hang on, I only got 10 minutes left though. Oh, I gotta figure it out. I gotta go pee in the interstitial. Don't hold it in, it's not healthy. People say that, but I don't think it's true. I think it has to be healthy because it's kind of like a forced Kegel. What are you talking about? Holding in your pee when you have to go pee is doing a Kegel. First, explain what a Kegel is. It's a exercise that strengthens your pelvic floor. You got it backwards? No, you got it backwards, motherfucker. A Kegel is holding the piss in. A reverse Kegel is pushing it out. You're dealing with some like 1980s fat-free food is good for you type logic. That's antiquated, bro. What's the pelvic floor? I don't know. It's like you ever eat like a whole oyster and like half of the thing is an oyster and the other half is just like matter. That's like the pelvic floor is the matter. I don't really know like what it is. It's part of the organism. What are you talking about? It's like one of those things, I've never seen it in my body, but I know it's there. Because when I do my Kegels, I'm like, that's it right there. My wife is a pelvic floor PT, physical therapist, and she says it's good for you. Let's go! Unless you're lying. But your lie agrees with me, so I'm kind of like, who cares? Any tips on getting good at this game? Banter in between every decision, so if you're about to make a mistake, chat will just go, no, you have to buy this instead. I'm not even joking. Like, you might think like, oh, he hates when people do that. No, I love it, man. It's a type A season. You know what? You might be right, because Japan was very, very type B, which they should not have been, because I was useless. But like, no, I would just walk into a restaurant and point at pictures, like some kind of extraterrestrial, and they'd be like, yes, yes, I'll bring you the thing that you desire. The customer's always right. I needed to come back, because you know what it is that like, I've lived on Twitch essentially for so long that that's me now. I'm craving the Twitch. It's like when your body gets like addicted to huffing duster or something like that. You're like, it's bad for me, except now that you've been doing it for so long that like your body's like, I need the duster, bro. Without the duster, I can't even like get out of bed. It's caffeine. Don't even get me started on that amazing caffeine tweet where the guy earnestly said, imagine caffeine being normalized is so crazy. Imagine if your coworker said, don't talk to me until I've had my heroin yet. I was like, buddy, you can't do that. Wow, drinking water is so normalized in our society. Imagine if your friend was like, I need to drink gasoline to live. I am very smart. These are the same thing. You ever notice how like if you change something relatively harmless for something extremely harmful, like the meaning of the sentence stays completely the same? Don't talk to me until I've shot my 30 to 50 feral hogs. Yo, but that guy was a hero, right? Like he ended up being right.
Shoot him! Fuck! Oh shit.
Yes. That's Tifu. Oh man. So you gotta be plugged into the streamer space to stay up to date on that one. Oh man. Hey, you okay, Tomo? Hi, buddy. I wish I had more questions for the gay community, but I guess I pretty much got it all figured out now. I guess, actually, I do have one more question, I suppose. In a gay marriage, who picks what you eat for dinner? Because, like, in a straight marriage, it's obvious. Boom, the wife. Are you fucked in the head? Yes, but, like, what made you ask? Just out of curiosity. My wife doesn't always pick. We do a group decision. fellas. Who's gonna tell him? Oh, man. I'm just joking. Maybe you do. I don't know. 2 is a group? That's not what I'm getting at, but there's like an element of that, I suppose. My boyfriend always says he's down for whatever, and then I pick. By the way, so that's how I handle it too. But I do think that that's probably got to be frustrating, right? Like sometimes you're probably like, damn, why doesn't he just say like what he actually wants? But like, I'm here to tell you, some dudes are just a simple kind of man. I'm always just happy to be eating. For me, it's kind of like favorite color discourse. Like, I don't have a favorite color until someone asks me what my favorite color is. So if someone is like, hey, what are you craving for dinner tonight? I'm like, nothing. I guess, like, in a literal sense, food. Like, it's a tough-ass question. If you could have any food on the planet, what would you want to have? I don't know. Something that gets here quick? Like, I don't know. I think that it's easy to think that someone's being deferential and disingenuous. Like, I'm sitting there like, oh, I hope she says Indian food. I could really go for some Indian food tonight. For some reason, the hormones in my body and my endocrine system and everything they really want garam masala. I got a garam masala deficiency. But really, I'm just mostly chilling. I will always choose some shit that's gonna make me die young. You know what I was craving after I got back from Japan? A salad that doesn't fucking suck ass. No disrespect to the proud nation of Japan. Facts. Two. Oh, you're right. Don't add cards. Don't add cards. Thank you. Thank you. Asia does not fuck with salad. They're doing it wrong. I'm sorry to say it. I'm pushing my Western ideals of salad. They're not doing it right salad-wise over there. So much corn, so much mayonnaise. It's just... Sometimes I can't even, man. What does North America fuck up? That's a great question. It's hard because I'm here. I'm trying to think, what would be a food that more frequently is fucked up in North America? Bread? No, see, you guys... Hang on. I gotta send a message real quick. Sorry, Daddy had some business to do. I think that the idea that North American bread sucks is I think it's steeped in ignorance. The bread at the grocery store that comes from like one central bakery in Wisconsin sucks ass for sure. But there's great bread like that's very easily accessible in North America. And it was baked by Europeans? Okay, I don't know what you want me to say. I'm not fucking with Europe's bread. That's what the fuck you were doing before you got to the New World. And then we're like, oh shit, tomatoes, potatoes, like all the shit that's emblematic of European cuisine now. I'm just saying, show some fucking respect. The Romans had tomatoes. Listen, chat, is this real? That doesn't seem right to me. Pepperoni when the tomatoes... I don't know where I can't even make the jokes anymore. You know when Ben Stiller meets Cameron Diaz in There's Something About Mary and it plays that like, why do birds suddenly appear every time we are near? You think that's how Pepperoni felt when Tomato walked into the function? Just like me, they long to be close to you, yeah. Were you really 4 in 2012? I was 12? Dude, it must be so easy to remember your age if you were born in the year 2000. So true. I'm trying to make a joke like, man, fuck Jesus. Why, you don't agree with his teachings? No, I'm jealous of that motherfucker. Can you imagine how easy it is to remember how old you are when you're born in year 0? My ass out here doing 2024 minus 1,988. Jesus out there, what year is it? 32? Did the cats miss you? Yeah, they took like 12 dumps immediately once we returned and then threw up like 4 times. Then we asked our cat sitter, we were like, were they sick or anything? She was like, no, they had like 1 hairball. That's it. So I was like, man, I don't know what's going on. They're like too comfortable with us. I guess they were holding that shit in for like 2 weeks. I'm still not even like farting in front of my wife. That's something. I'll talk about that with my therapist. Oh. Does this sound like the start of the Larry Sanders Show? You don't know what the fuck that means. I'm sorry. Oh, man. Your HBO posting? Yeah, I know. I don't know what. You gotta just relax. Like, I don't know. My brain's been pent up for so long, man. I've been inside of my own head for 2 weeks. Everything's just spilling out. It's like trying to close a briefcase full of spaghetti sauce without making a spill. You know, that old chestnut. Joey Chestnut? I wish, man. Joey Chestnut when Joey Squirrel walks into the room. Wake up, honey. Reus 2 has come out. You might say, Anna, what is Reus 2? Reus 2 is the sequel to Reus 1, which came out in 2012. It was a noteworthy game. It made waves. It's a God game in the same vein as like Black and White. I mean, we're going way back here. But you tried to create a functioning ecosystem while also, you know, occasionally getting up to some horrific insanity. Thank you to Fire Squid Games and the team at Reus 2 for the sponsorship. I am excited to check it out. Now, listen, was I a Reus 1 expert? No, and even if I was, that was a while ago, but I'm excited to get back into it here. Let's do the tutorial. You are the universe itself, eternal, alone, bored. Me when I have not looked at phone in 15 minutes. Choose a human spirit that will seed the destiny of this planet. The sage wants to take care of its people. Food is the base of a healthy population. So true. Food hits so different when you're hungry. The inventor, the people who led by the inventor are creative and ingenious, always looking for science. And then finally, the architect and the builder arrive calmly from their escalator with a sense of purpose. The head is soaring. The goddess thinks the world revolves around her, maybe even the whole universe. Particularly interested in gold. Okay, honestly, I don't want to diagnose you, but I think you might be a candidate for borderline personality disorder. I'm going to go with the sage. We have matching hairstyles, so I'm going to pop in on this one. Ready to start humanity. The volume's a little loud. Wind is peaking. Me when I'm in a tornado. Activate a symbiosis on a bioticum. It makes a bioticum much more valuable. Using these symbioses is a great start to a planet. Clownfish need a sea anemone, the stoat needs a critter like the rabbit, and the jerboa needs a mineral, and of course the architect needs a builder. So how would I create a synergy then? Blueberries get a synergy if they're placed next to minerals. Is that true in real life? I feel like I'm learning a lot. Mossy cobblestone? Bro! Synergy created? It is true IRL. So like blueberries eat rocks? Is that what you're trying to tell me? And complete the city's request. You're like, yeah, Mossy! I can relate to that. City requests have a population of 3. Dude, they love snails, apples, turtles, mossy cobblestone, 2 science. They're loving it, man. Holy cow. We did it! Blueberries and a little mossy? My man, that's all you need. Quitting sap made you rusty with the animals. I'll just level with you. I'll keep it $1.50 with you. I don't know anything about plants or animals. I have a 4-year degree in biology. I have nothing to say in my own defense. It's extremely embarrassing. I should know a lot more about plants and animals. But sometimes, like, I'll be in the zoo or like at an aquarium or something, and Kate will be like, what's this? And I'm like, fish? It's a kind of fish? I know that ferns, there's 2 different kinds of ferns. Some of them are nitrogen fixing. I think those are liverworts. Some of them are not. Those are hornworts. I graduated with honors. This is an indictment of the Canadian public university system, to be honest. Like, here's how I could pretend that this is, like, I'm trolling you, but this is true. Is a sea anemone an animal or a rock? It must be an animal because you can eat it. You know, I guess you could eat rocks too, right? Like salt. I'm so embarrassed, man. Bro, please, what are you're thinking about coral? Wait, coral's rocks, right? You didn't unlock... Sea anemones are plants? No shot, bro. Are you kidding me? I guess you could eat some plants too, now that I think about it. Holy cow. They're like, whoa, boys, you're not gonna believe this. Yeah! Oh, they're loving it. Yes! Dude. There, yeah, dude, I had to see it for myself. I had to see it for myself. They are loving life. Inspire a project. When presenting you with a challenging request, the city will also suggest a project. Click the floating Inspire button. Pick the projects that they present. Use the project to complete... Okay, I'm just going to say this. Fire Squid, I'm not trying to cause any problems. The list goes 1, 2, 4. So I feel like I'm missing a valuable piece of information. Listen, I'm the kind of guy that can be confused with a simple task, okay? The miner or the merchant? The miner is very interested in science. The merchant believes in trade. I guess in the whole scheme of things, science makes more sense to me. I can't choose a place to settle you yet because we're too close to city limits. Let's create a biome then. How about rocks or science, bro? That's a given. Terraform the planet. Create a desert? That's not rocks. Are you kidding me, man? I guess sand is actually kind of... This is the most scientific of all the rocks. Like, how do you think your video card got here? Create... first off, well, where's my settlement? Oh, wait, what happened to my settlers, bro? He's pogging. They're on the left? Under the apple tree? Ah, you're right, they're chilling. Don't even worry about them. And in true Nordic fashion, we're going to send them to a place devoid of water. What are we going to call it? Wetland. I don't get it. You ever seen a picture of Iceland? Aptly named. You ever seen a picture of Greenland? They're lying to you, bro. Wake up, everybody! Sunville! What the heck? The city limits, they hate the beach, bro. Just give them a second. I mean, Sunville. This is like Miami in 2021, bro. Like, the population is exploding here. Ah, yes, the desert of Miami. Bro, if that ocean wasn't there, I mean, I don't even want to think about it. Okay. Unfortunately, Greenton is just like... You know what it is? Hard times create strong men. Strong men create good times. Good times create weak men. And now, like, that's where we're at. It's the era of weak men in Greenton. Nobody's doing anything. They're all taking pictures of $27 birria tacos, okay? But over here in Sunville at the Mud Factory, this is real society right here. Plus 15 if adjacent to a bioticum with base gold. It's that easy. You are base gold. We'll put you down. The time has come to conclude this planet. I'd rather not just yet if you just give me a second. I got some quests I could do. Hang on. Are you getting tech? 7 technology! Me when I'm whatever the main character is from The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. The time has come to conclude this planet. I'd rather not. Zephod Beeblebrox, get me out of here! Arthur Dent? Isn't that the Joker, bro? No, or is that Sir Arthur Conan Doyle? Replace the tree with the better plant? You got to start from step one, man. So why can't I get your technology higher, is what I'm trying to say. Now I can't even conclude the planet. I spent too much freaking eon. You know what? Just for that, oh, you're not even in city limits. I'm like, I gotta restart, man. I screwed up my planet. God, when he saw that humanity created young Sheldon, I gotta hold R on this one, man. It's cooked. Okay, honestly, I think I would like to start a new game. Now, and this is like, you might think this is admitting failure. It's actually the opposite. This is how strategy games work, man. You play Civilization or something like that. You start. No. You can finish the tutorial by placing one more thing. Okay. Sorry, I was gonna say, you play Civilization, you go like 100 years, and then you're like, oh, I should have definitely gotten archers instead of like pottery or something ridiculous like that. So then you go back and you start and you like build it even better. Then you get to like, you vet like muskets or something, and you're like, oh, I should have gone. Anyway. Yes. Advance me. You have now completed the tutorial and gotten 3 achievements. You're right, I probably should have just clicked one extra button. Thank you for keeping me on task. Are they still... They're hesitant! Bro, does hesitant mean there's a chance? I mean, there's so much stuff to discover out here, man. Place food on the everything booster. That's actually a great idea. Put it on the super booster for now. Muad'Dib. People are very strange these days. Huge if true. They're excited to explore, bro. I just gotta pause for a second. This month, I was gonna swear. This individual with the flag is about to become the most famous person on this planet. He's gonna go on an expedition. Unbeknownst to him, look what he's about to discover. First off, Jasper, the most beautiful fish ever made, clownfish. A second Jasper. Sea anemones with clownfish serendipitously flitting in and out. And a gate. An empty slot that has like a tuna in it. I mean, you ever see that meme that's like, it's happened 100 times and the cycle is like, a new natural resource is becoming the most important resource on Earth. Finally, American hegemony is going to end. And then the second part of the cycle is a farmer in Pennsylvania finds the world's largest deposit of it just accidentally under his property. And then it goes back to this is what's about to happen. Especially if you're the goddess, you're probably like, Sunwild's Oasis can't be richer than us forever. Just wait until they start discovering this, man. Oh, you don't even know. You just got started, bro. There's so much more to discover out here. Okay, build that. Bro, this city is popping, though. Are you seeing this? Did they finally go exploring and discover it? They still haven't even discovered the hotbed, man. Honestly, I'm going to be real with you. I think this is a great stopping point because I've screwed myself. I have made the merchant city all-powerful, and every other city has suffered as a result, and now I need all of my cities to be roughly equivalent so that I can complete the quest of this era. So I got to say, that's going to do it for Reus 2 right now. I had a great time. Thank you again to Fire Squid Games for the sponsorship. ! Reus 2. You can check it out for yourself. It came out on Steam earlier this week. Last time I checked, yesterday, it had 97% positive reviews, and I'm adding my own review to it as well. Not literally, because that would be like a conflict of interest because I'm being paid to play the game, but I had a great time. Just chatting. You did say you were the only straight astronaut today. That's because Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins were fucking and sucking each other in the lunar module. And if I was to write a book of speculative historical fiction, it would be that Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins were a gay throuple, but 1960s American society would shun them for their lifestyle choices. So the tragedy, the beauty, but also the tragedy is that the only time they actually got to live authentically to what they wanted was when they were on the moon. fucking and sucking and jerking and I don't know. There's probably a bunch of other stuff I'd have to... I mean, that's why it takes a long time to write books. Only 2 of them were on the moon? Listen, Michael Collins was on the moon. He was fucking in lunar orbit, okay? That's on the moon as far as I'm concerned. Where else was that motherfucker? He wasn't on Earth. He wasn't on Mars. Is it harder to get a boner in space? That's a good question. Wouldn't it be easier? Unless you were... Wait, let me think about... I think if you're like... Wouldn't it be harder if you were... There's no question. If you're standing up, it would be easier because you're lifting less. Like your dick weighs less. So it should be easier to get a boner. By that same logic, I think laying down on your back, easier to get a boner because you're lifting the dick up. However, if you're in like a top-down situation, like a planking pose, wouldn't it be harder? Because like your dick's trying to like float away because there's no gravity. So like it gets filled with blood, which pushes it like straight down, but then space is like, give me that dick, give me that dick. And you got to be like, no, dude. What are you talking about? There's no gravity, man. Why are you gay posting? A, it's pride. B, it's not gay to have a dick. The dolls. Oh, yes, the dolls. The heck was that? Almost went Tezonde mode there. Is that, oh, you know what? I restarted my computer. So my full screen window is on the wrong monitor now. Thought you never turned it off. I did turn it off, but I was like, I didn't want to turn off my PC before I left. Kay was like, you should turn off your computer. And I was like, I know. And then I did, and I felt good. Especially because like when I came home, the power had obviously gone out once while we were gone. So I was like, it's good that I turned it off. Were you ever scared on your long distance flights because of the reports of turbulence lately? Well, let me be honest with you. The thought crossed my mind. But also the older I've gotten, this is not a depressed bit, okay? It sounds like a depressed bit, but it's not a depressed bit. The older I get, the less I care if I die, essentially. Because when I was a younger man, I was like, whenever there was turbulence, I was like, this isn't how I go. I don't want to die. Getting older, I think, means accepting that you're going to die someday. And I'm like, if it's, turbulence on an airplane, if today's the day, then I'll face God and walk backwards into hell, I suppose. Thank you, Drill. You have a daughter, though? Yeah, but what the fuck am I going to do? Unturbulence the plane? Think about it for 2 seconds. I'm not saying I'm not courting death. It's more of a situation where I'm like, if the plane's going to explode, then I'm not going to be like, no! I'm going to be like, what are you going to do? I mean, I'll probably be like, no. But like, spiritually, I'm like, I don't love death. I'm just saying, man. It is what it is. I think that's why I've been better on roller coasters, too. Because it used to be like, oh, I think I'm going to die on this roller coaster. Now I'm like, they wouldn't do me the service. Probably just going to die of like a disease or like a heart attack or something like that when I'm older, hopefully. I'm not going to get like a sick death like, he was always scared of roller coasters, but then, Space Mountain was angry that there was like if this was a movie, like at the start there would be like a little loose bolt or something you'd see, and you'd be like, don't ride it. Hello, Chipley, by the way. Rock and steel, easy. Steelix. Rock fossil. Kabuto. Nailed it. Dragon steel. Dragon fossil. Dragon legendary. Luigi. Fuck you, man. Rayquaza. Okay, we take those. Final evolution fossil. Kabutops. Careful who you make fun of in middle school. Final evolution legendary. What? They do that? The heck was that? Uh-oh, guess failed? Pokedoku, are you okay? I didn't do anything, man. Uh-oh. Oh, your first guess caught up. I mean, I knew that was like Steelix. Onyx is rock. Steelix is steel. I thought maybe I could sneak it in there, but apparently not. The fuck is Intellion Gmax, dude? It sounds like a processor from a laptop. Cresselia, you're probably flying psychic now that I think about it. Dragapult. Dracozolt. Reggie Drago. He looks kind of steel. Dracozolt. Dragoj, Dracozolt, Dracovish, Dragapult. I don't think any of them are steel, man. I don't think any of those are steel. Hrock and steel. Steel. Metagross. Metagross. Mega? All right, I kind of got my ass beat, but I tried. This Canadian singer-songwriter is best known for She's So High. That might as well be a free space. That's Tal motherfucking Bachman. Ever tell you the story about how my best friend's mom almost kicked me out of her van because I said I didn't like She's So High? She was like, if you don't like it, you can walk home. 31%? Come on, man. That song is not that good. I'll do you one better. It's not good. Like at all. Maybe a little nostalgia. Is it the same one who said you were stealing by not watching ads? No, that was another friend's dad I got in an argument with when I was like 12. He was like, do you think stealing is morally wrong? And I was like, of course. And then he's like, oh, so you sit and watch the commercials when they come on in the show you're watching? And I was like, no. He's like, well, then you're stealing from the television company. As a 12-year-old, I was like, maybe he's got me. As an adult, I'm like, my parents pay for cable, bitch. If anything, they're stealing from me. They paid money for the service, and then I got ads too? You said it. Amen. Nathan, who said the reason I was in most of the movies I've done is that they paid me to be in the theater, Nathan Lane, to ward something off. Avert. To be in the world, exist. You said it. Bah. This is not even close, man. The heck is Alvixa? Amazon's version. Oh! Suffix with beetle or wrestle. Mania. Make ends meet. Robin's residence. Nest. Black History Month abbreviation. What? Am I insane? Be in the world. Exist. You said it. Bah. Wards off. Fence. February. Here I am cooked, man. I was about to say, what the fuck is FEB? I was like, someone's got to explain this to me. The crossword is bugged, man. BHM equals FEB? Okay. Okay, Alan Turing. I see you with the Enigma machine. What? This ad is so funny, man. Are you like UAE? Unknown country? United Arab Emirates. Are you Cameroon? Are you Portugal? That's just Portugal. Dom Toretto, thanks for the gifted subscriptions. Thank you. Thank you. The ad, man. It got me. The first relevant ad I've seen in my whole life. Universal. Let me get a liar on this. Huge. Hear me out here, okay? I grew up with the Jim Carrey movies from Ace Ventura through to what I would consider the death of his must-see comedy movies. Probably call that Bruce Almighty. Liar Liar is the best classic Jim Carrey-led, zany, slapstick comedy movie. It's the best. Of his, at least. Not The Mask. I think Liar Liar dumps on it, honestly. The Mask is fun. I think Liar Liar dumps on it. Dumb and Dumber is good. Liar Liar, why does my brain keep changing Liar Liar into Dumb and Dumber in my head? Dumb and Dumber is really good. I really like The Cable Guy as well. Cable Guy is possibly the movie I've seen most of my entire life. But in terms of like a standalone picture, I feel like Liar Liar clears. It's got iconic, funny moments. It's got a heart. It's really good. It's not my favorite Jim Carrey movie. I mean, my man did Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, but I don't consider that a Jim Carrey movie. It's like saying Uncut Gems is like an Adam Sandler film. It is, but it isn't. You know? Grown Ups is an Adam Sandler film. Yes Man is better? Okay, listen, buddy. Rotten Tomatoes, Yes Man. 46%. Rotten Tomatoes, Liar Liar. 83%. Even that's robbery. It should be 98%. I can't see how someone would give that less than a 3 out of 5. Let's go check the IMDb quick. Yes Man. 6.8 out of 10. Horrible. It should be a 1.8 out of 100. Liar Liar. 6.9 out of 10. Don't go to IMDb. Those people are idiots. Don't waste your time. I don't know what kind of moron could watch those two movies and say Liar Liar is 0.1 better. Metacritic score of 70. Pretty good for a comedy. Universal acclaim. 8.6 from the users. Oh, Letterboxd, of course. Letterboxd. Liar Liar. 3.3, okay? Letterboxd. Yes Man. 3.1! The world's gone insane! You have to VIP him? Why? Liar Liar cleared it on all websites. It just didn't clear it like by enough, in my opinion. Beef, flat rice noodles, soy sauce, oyster, beef, flat rice noodles, soy sauce, dark soy sauce, oyster sauce. I tried to make it at home, but I just couldn't get the spices right. I'm going to say, because it has Chinese chives, I'm going to say this is from China. No, not even close, idiot. Cornstarch water, served on a fucking fence post? What is this? It looks good. Stir fry flat rice noodles with tender beef slices in a wok. Garnish with lime. I see a lime. I think we're in Southeast Asia. It borders it. I think we're in Cambodia. Oh, I think we're in Laos. I think we're in Vietnam. It's beef quay toe. Now listen, the first photo is really good. The second photo looks fucking disgusting, bro. The second picture is vile. The first one is good. What's the goo, man? What's the goo? Dating profile photo when you meet them at the Chipotle? I don't know. This is, I know what this is. Isn't this tabbouleh? Cucumbers, tomatoes, red onions, parsley, lemon juice. I guess not, because it doesn't have any bulgur wheat. This is, this is like kimchi puri or something from Cook Serve Delicious. Am I crazy to think that this is from like Turkey? That's a tough one. Iran? Oh! That's a pull. Shirazi salad. We got a little lucky with that one. It's like every version of the dish is different. Evil shrimp. I don't know. I mean, I see jackfruit and durian, sweet corn. This has the makings of like, I'm just gonna say it, librarian. It has the makings of Indonesia. Okay, it is from every country actually. Oh. Some person made this dish, and like 9 other countries were like, I gotta get on that shit. Really? It's goated food? I'm not trying to knock it necessarily. I haven't eaten it, okay? And I hate when people say something like, oh, this food looks like, it probably looks the same going in that it does coming out. I'm sorry to say it. Some of the best tasting foods on the planet look like diarrhea. Like also I'll tell you, in Japan, I had some absolutely beautiful foods that look like Snorlax or fucking Kuromi from Sanrio characters, and that the flavor was compromised by the presentation of the dish. Give me a bowl full of like diarrhea curry instead. That being said, this, I don't know, man. The green noodles, I just can't get into it. But man, if it's in front of me, maybe. Okay, slash marker me. My wife is live. I'm going to send you over to her stream. Enjoy your day. I'll be back tomorrow in a sounder mental state after getting closer to getting over my jet lag, hopefully. See you then. I'll see you then. Thanks for being here.
Did Alex and Ryan touch bald heads? I guess, I should have suggested that. Have 2 bald dudes touch their own bald heads with their heads. Bald nuclear fission happens? Oh no, does that mean people around the baldies become all bald? Did you have crisis on your trip? Of course not, dude. My bro, he's like a fragile egg. If you move him out of his little egg cartage, he gets like, he's like, oh my gosh. He freaks the fuck out. And I said, what is wrong with you, bro? And he said, just leave me alone. And then, when I try to do something nice to my daughter, she goes, just leave me alone. I wonder where she learned that from. It was like, if it was his first trip to Korea or to Japan, I might understand. I would be like, oh, international travel, so scary, oh, so spooky, oh, everyone's here to get ya. I gotcha. I understand international travel could be scary. You're surrounded with non-Caucasians that might be fearful. I understand. But the funny thing is that it was not his first time. It was his, I don't know, 5th or 6th or something like that. In Japan. Korea, I mean, come on, he lived in Korea for a year by himself. But my bro was like breaking down, man. And I said, wow, I don't know how to say this, but you actually need Twitch chat right now. bro needed, it was so weird to see a person so reliant on their internet buddies, and that he required the +2s, and without the +2s, he was, I don't know, he was breaking down. It was kind of surreal to watch. What's wrong with this guy? He would not eat, which is crazy, because he loves eating. One time he was describing to me, like, eating is the pure joy in his life. He says he can eat forever. I'm like, as a person who doesn't like to eat, it's kind of weird, but you know, I understand. He loves eating. That's just fact. But when he was going through this crisis, like Twitch withdrawal, my bro was not eating. I said, why don't you eat? And he said, I don't want to eat. And I said, what's wrong with you? And he's like, just leave me alone. And I was like, man, I got a actual baby, 3-year-old baby that I have to like feed her. And then this grown man ass who's having like crisis. I have no idea. I think it's just like anxiety. I think mostly it was just anxiety that I guess you know how anxiety starts little to nothing and then it just blooms and it grows bigger than a tree. I think he might have maybe thought, what if I disappear, or what if I, you know, die on the spot at the moment? Then he needs to take care of a 3-year-old in a foreign country that he does not speak the language of. So I think he was anxious that he could not speak the language and he would have to take care of 3-year-old by himself. And I think that kind of anxiety got to him. And I was like, bro, it ain't gonna happen. If anything, I'm gonna outlive you. I'm a woman and Asian and younger. 3 combos stacked. But, you know, I think the anxiety, you know, there's no logic to the anxieties, I guess. But he was so anxious. It was actually so crazy. Most of people, what I've seen in Korea and in Japan, and they don't speak the language, they just have the translator app, so they speak their language like in English, saying like, where's the toilet, and then the auto translator on their phone would like say it in Japanese, and then the person would hear it, and then they go like, oh, and then they will say it in Japanese into their phone or like into the other person's phone, and they will translate it to English. I've seen a lot of that. And also people doing the camera, like capturing the picture of Japanese menu and then auto translate and stuff. But I mean, honestly, I think I would be anxious if it was two of the parents who did not speak the language of the country and then traveling with 3-year-old. I would be more anxious that way. But I was fluent in both countries, so I don't know why he was having so much crisis. Was bro really depressed over there? Yeah, dude. He was having crisis. You think I'm joking? He was having crisis, dude. I was like, oh my gosh, I need to like turn on the stream or something on my phone so I can feed him some +2s and my dude will feel better or something. I don't, cause you know, I'm not like you guys, chat. You guys kind of like, I don't know how to say it nicely, glorify Ryan a little bit. So whenever he says even little tiny jokes, you go +2, haha, oh my gosh, this is my streamer, he's my king, you know what I'm saying? But when he says joke in real life, I don't always laugh. I laugh 50%. Some good, some bad. Some are like terrible, and you know, some terrible jokes I don't even react. And then he goes, you get it? You get it? And then I say, yeah, I get it, but it was terrible. And I think that destroyed his self-esteem, which is, I mean, not fair to me to laugh at all his terrible jokes. But my dude needed audience to be constantly laughing at his jokes. even the bad ones. I was like, oh, good. My dude had a life crisis because like people weren't laughing. No, but then, so we met up with Arix, and Arix was giving out +2s. Like, I'm just like a hard audience. I don't really give out +2 all that much. But when we met Arix was giving out a lot more +2s. And my god, like Ryan was a little repaired. Thanks to the new blood. I remember one of the clips from the first Disney cruise, he said on stream that the cast member laughed at a joke he told. The clip showed silence after he told the joke. Oh no. I still laugh at this. It was our last day in Korea. We were in Busan. There's this Chinese treat that's very popular in Korea right now called tanghuru. And basically what it is skewered fruit, and you coat it with like sugar. So the outside has like a casting of sugar, which gets a crunchy kind of texture, and then the inside is the fruit, and a lot of people really like it, I guess. So I wanted to try it. I got the mandarin orange and strawberry, and I thought, oh, I'll give one, like the one mandarin orange slice to my daughter so she could try it. But my daughter thought it was ice cube because the hard casing of the sugar, she thought it was ice. So she thought the ice would melt, so she just kept it in her mouth, but it wasn't obviously melting because it was sugar. And Ryan put our daughter on his shoulders at this point, and he said, "Or what is it raining?" And I said, "No, it's not raining." And then he said, "What is this drop that I'm feeling? It must be some kind of water." And then you know how there's like, even on the sunny days, you feel a little bit of water sometimes, it might have been, I don't know, you just water somewhere or whatever. So I was like, oh, whatever, it could be just something. And then we took, I don't know, 3 more steps. Ryan said, "Wow! What's going up there? What's going up there?" And then I thought, oh no, what's going on? He said, "I feel something dripping down my neck." And I was like, okay, that can't be just like a random shower of water. So I looked up, right? Because I didn't look before. It was so sunny outside that it hurt my eyes to look up. So I looked up thinking, okay, something is going terribly wrong. I saw our daughter. She had that piece of mandarin orange in her mouth, and she did not gulp her saliva this whole entire time. So herself was like Niagara Fall, right? It's just saliva waterfall. And she was dripping onto Raya's head. And it was so much that it was dripping down his back of his neck. And I have never seen Ryan this so pissed. Like, he was so pissed. I wanted to laugh so hard because of the whole situation was so hilarious. Like, she thinking that the sugary fruit snack was ice cube. And she's like, I want to spit it out. I want to spit it out, mommy. I don't know why she didn't say it anything earlier. So I said, okay, you can spit it out right here. And then, like, she got all sticky. And then Ryan to this day thinks it's honey. And he was like, was there honey on my head? Was she dripping honey on my head? And I said, oh no, we should go back. We should go back to hotel so you can shower. And then Ryan, usually he would say, yeah, that's a good idea. But then this time he said, damn right. I'm going back to hotel. Good thing we were like 1 minute walk away from the hotel. So it wasn't like, you know, an hour of sticky stuff on his head or anything. And then, you know, as soon as we got back, like the whole time, like the 1 minute walk back, he was like not talking. He was walking like the Terminator, silent killer. And then he walked to the shower, and I said, like, he didn't shower. He just cleaned up his head and the back of his neck. And I said, oh, you're not taking shower? And he said, no, I don't need to take shower. It's all gone. And I said, oh, that's good. But he was, or no, did he take shower? I don't know. Or maybe Luna was taking, maybe he gave bath to Luna because it was all sticky. Either way, it was, but he was pissed the whole day, whole night. And then I saw on Twitter when he made the post, people were saying, good thing you're bald and don't have hair. And I was like, that's so true. Good thing he's bald. Because, I mean, it's a pretty easy clean up compared to if you had hair, right? And I still think is, like, so funny. But he is still so angry. I think the lesson of this story is that you should not put your daughter on your shoulder when she's eating something. There is a chance of something going bad. I would be too. Ryan would say, like, if that happened to you, wouldn't you be angry? And I said, I guess I would be. Because my hair will be all tangled. But, you know, you're bald, so I think, you know, not so much for the bald dudes. And he said, wow. Then he was even more angry. I would rather have hair than to have that happen to my bald head. What am I missing here? Why? Definitely hair is much worse. You ever seen those little hat with the umbrella built in? I can't help but think that would have solved this. You see? That's the chat toxicity that Ryan was missing on. That's the thing that he was deprived of. It's not like a real toxicity, like it's not personal attack, but it's so wacky and shit. You can't help but to think like, man, what the hell? Ryan would look amazing with a hat like that. No, he wouldn't be. What are you talking about? And it would go crazy with the rainbow propeller hat with the big swirly lollipop. You see how you say one thing and chat just goes crazy? It's just maybe he needed the little propeller hat and just propeller himself back to Vancouver. He would be like, I can't take this anymore. Bye. But just, you know, like the Team Rocket in Pokemon. But Ryan was definitely, I don't know. I, for myself, had a great time. He by the end of it, he said, I hate theming shit. And I said, what's wrong with theming stuff? And he said, I'm so sick of it. I need to go to like some kind of historical places, like museum or something, like like art museum, historical places. It's just theming this, theming that. Can't have it anymore. I said, what's wrong with it? Our daughter likes it. I like it. And then he was blasting off Pokemon. I'm like, oh my gosh, it was freaking so stupid. All these people coming to Pokemon Cafe. And I was like, what's wrong with the freaking Pokemon Cafe? Like, freaking, I'm eating this Snorlax rice. And this stupid Pokemon is still smiling when I'm eating his gut. Fucking twisted, bro. I said, it's just a plate. Like, this is messed up. This is messed up. Did Ryan tell you about the experience when I went to the hair salon? So on our first day, I went to a hair salon to get my hair cut. And mostly it was for Luna. Like, she never had a haircut in her life. So I wanted to get her a really good haircut. So we went to a nice hair salon. And while I was getting my haircut, my stylist was talking about my husband. But she wasn't talking about me much. She wasn't saying like, oh, you look nice, or oh, you're so pretty. She was mostly talking about my husband, like with thirst. And it made me really uncomfortable. But I just went like, haha, sure, haha. She said, wow, your husband, he's so tall. And I said, he's an okay height. And then she said, I think every Caucasian man, like, they don't even, like, is he actually handsome among the Caucasian men? Or is he just, like, normie? And I said, I think he's pretty hot for Caucasian men, among the Caucasian men. And then she said, I knew it. He seems so handsome. And then I said, oh, thank you. And then she said, does your husband work out? And I said, yeah, he works out. And then she said, I could tell. I was like, okay. And then she said, oh, your husband has like such a defined jawline. It's just amazing to see such a defined jawline. And I said, oh, yeah. And then she also said, your husband's like nose is so pretty and his eyes are so big. It's just, and his eyes are blue, like, wow. And I said, yeah. And then she said, oh, your husband is so like thin and his legs are so long. And I was like, okay, out of everything that you have said, Ryan's legs are not long. He got long torso and, not that long of legs. Just saying. On the other hand, I got short torso and long legs. So I know what long legs are. But she said, wow, your husband got such a long legs. His style is so nice too. Does he wear like that at home too? And I said, yeah. But I'm pretty sure Ryan wasn't wearing something fancy or anything. He was just like wearing just a shirt and like pants. And I said, you should tell all the nice things that you said about my husband to him. He will really like it. And then she said, oh, I can't. I'll be too embarrassed. And I was like, okay. But I told him everything that she said and how my stylist was literally falling for my husband. I don't know. She said, wow, your husband, like, he is so nice and gentle. He seems like he can speak a little bit of Korean. And I said, I guess he can speak little Korean. Like, wow, he seems like he got really good manner. Like he seems so nice. It was just like non-stop about how amazing his personality and the look and all that. It felt a little awkward.
It's Sans.
You're a rich girl, and you've gone too far, 'cause you know it don't matter anyway.
Say what?
You can rely on the old man's money. You can rely on the old man's money.
It's a bitch, girl, but it's gone too far, 'cause you know it doesn't matter anyway. I gotta find it. Say money, money won't get you too far, get you too far. Okay, I gotta find the higher octave. Just give it a second.
Don't you know? Don't you know?
He's pretty good.
Oh, that it's wrong. Take what he's giving you.
So far gone on your own. But you can get along if you try to be strong, but you'll never be strong. Oh, 'cause you're a rich girl, and you've gone too far, as you know it don't matter anyway. You can rely on the old man's money. You can rely on the old man's money. It's a bitch, girl, and it's gone too far, 'cause you know it don't matter anyway. Say money, money won't get you too far, get you too far.
High and dry, out of the rain. It's so easy to hurt others when you can't feel pain. And don't you know?
Hello, Jatsky. That a love can grow. Ooh, because there's too much to give, 'cause you'd rather live for the thrill of it all. Oh, you're a rich girl, and you've gone too far, 'cause you know it don't matter anyway. You can rely on the old man's money. You can rely on the old man's money. It's a bitch, girl, and it's gone too far, 'cause you know it don't matter anyway.
Hey, money, but it won't get you too far. Hey, money, but it won't get you too far. Say money, but it won't get you too far. Get you too far.
And you say you can rely on the old man's money. You can rely on the old man's money. You're a rich girl, ooh, you're a rich, rich girl, yeah.
Hey, money, but it won't get you too far. Hey. Yeah.